Choice of JBC, double stack or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
Advanced mudjacking, old school, tried and true, sand and cement mudjacking. I'm Brian. Let's fix that drainage, support your concrete, and remove those trip hazards. Advanced mudjacking, 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudjacking@yahoo.com.
Watch Harris Family Law's informative and complimentary webinars, live and recorded, concerning all family law issues. It's Harris's Wiser Together series, helping you make wise decisions. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars for free access. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars. The Harris Law Firm. Stability, knowledge, guidance, and strong representation. HarrisFamilyLaw.com.
Got the inflation blues?
Got those inflation blues.
Then you need Inflation Salvation. Up to 9 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Listen at 5 past the hour on 630 KHOW. Sponsored by Guy Rees.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Rees loyalty program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Rees, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by waterpros.net. You can get all the drinking water you want for under $1,000 at your kitchen sink. PaulTheWaterman.com is another way to get a hold of him, and that's 303-862-5554. Welcome to the show. We have Brad O'Brien with us about real estate, talking about real estate stuff, and we also will talk to you about any problems, questions, and complaints. All you have to do, as I say, is call. Now, you can call 303-MARTINO 24/7, 303-627-8466. Now, people have heard about bank failures. A lot of people, it doesn't really truly affect. Others were a little shaken as to what to do with money. Some people do have savings over a lifetime, maybe a husband and wife or a family trust or whatever. They have money in a bank, and it does exceed $250,000, and people wonder how to protect it. One of the alternatives that has been emerging as solid, and it's, you don't have to divide up your accounts all over town. And again, I'm not assuming everyone listening has more than $250,000, but for those who do, or for anyone who wants a safe place to put cash, even under $250. Anyway, Treasury bills are really paying interesting rates. They're paying very high rates. I mean, compared to what they used to pay. You can get them, as high as 5 and 6% if you look for T-bills. Here's the thing. The rates continue to go up because they yield according to market. And you can buy them for a very short term, like a week. You can buy them for a month, for 3 months. You can buy them and keep them in cash. And you simply buy them. You can go direct. You don't even need a broker. You can go through a broker, but the minimum purchase is $100 with a broker. TreasuryDirect.gov, you can buy T-bills. And then a Treasury bill is basically a short-term obligation from the U.S. government. And what they do is they pay you interest to use your money. It's more than taxes, obviously. They are bonds. They are put out there so they have money. And the most common maturity dates for T-bills run in weeks. So they don't talk to them in terms of month. But you have, like, for example, a 4-week, which is, of course, a month. You have 8 weeks, 2 months. You have something, a weird one, 13 weeks, 26 weeks, and 52 weeks. The reason I'm talking about this is because there was a lot of interest with people who had life savings or stocks or things that just wanted to park money, but they didn't want to park it in a bank. And I'm talking about, different kinds of money. Small business will often have more than $250,000 in reserves, medium-sized businesses, and T-bills are very easy to liquidate and very easy to get and very easy to keep. And you can keep them virtually. You don't have to, count them out, send them in when you want to sell them or any of that. 303-713-TALK is our number. Have you ever dabbled in Treasury bills? Let us know. Beatrice wants to talk about a mortgage. Beatrice, as I remember, you had started your story and you said you made a payment on your mortgage last month that simply was not entered,
processed
by the mortgage company.
Right.
And how do you know it was not processed?
Because I got a message stating that it was reported to the credit bureau.
Okay.
30 days late.
So the issue is twofold. One, you got to make your payment. Two, you don't like the negative credit report. So what one are you calling about mostly? It should be easy to fix the payment problem. You just send it back in because it wasn't taken from your account, right?
Which I did.
Okay,
yeah.
So that part's satisfied. So what are you trying to do now? Get the credit report fixed?
Right. Well, they're saying that it's going to take like 90 days, to get that, fixed. So
how is this affecting Beatrice? How is this affecting you?
Well, it's affecting me because I wanted to, trade my car in. I can't do that. I can't, and I've had issues in the past with my mortgage where I was a victim of fraud. I don't know if you remember me,
yeah, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. This isn't fraud. What happened? You sent a check, literally mailed a check?
No, I called in a payment.
Okay, do you normally call in? Do you normally make phone payments?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you normally pay. You call up and say,
yes.
Here's my credit, here's my account number, here's my routing number.
Exactly. Yes.
And then they do what's called an ACH. If you look on your statement, it comes out as an ACH, right?
Right.
It's not a wire, it's an electronic withdrawal. And then so you don't really, it's not really a check, although it comes out of your checking account, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, they acknowledge that you called and did that or not?
They did acknowledge it after, when I called them. Yes. When I called them and I said, hey.
No, I mean, those calls are recorded. They would have a record of it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so they say.
So, they're not disputing it. They're going to correct it. It's just your problem is it's taking too long.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Geez, I don't know what to do about that. The fact that it's taking, I don't. The fact that it's taking too long is kind of weird.
Well, they report it quickly, but they sure don't fix it as quick as they report it, No,
I agree with
Especially when it was a mistake on their part,
Yeah, it was. No, it was, and they should correct it, and they will. I guess technically if you have damages as a result of it, but I don't know if you can show damages. Are you saying waiting 60 to 90 days will have devastating damages? What kind of damages are we talking about?
I guess it's not devastating, but it's upsetting. It's upsetting knowing that they did this to me so quickly, and they have records that they of the payment that I called to make the payment, but the supervisor told me that the guy never processed it. So
okay,
I
think I don't really. Okay, I can have somebody call for you. Maybe Deputy Dollar can call for you. Kelly, are you on mic right now?
He's in the other room.
She's in the other room. Is Mark here?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm alone. We need to give this to somebody. Kelly, if you could help me out here and come from the other room, since I'm flying solo here. What I'd like to do is give this to somebody. So let's mark this for Deputy Dollar and let him make a call. He can handle finance stuff, and then we'll see what he can do. 303-713-8255. I'm Tom Martino. Now, One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They are on the ready for any problems you have with a garage door. Now, I use them, and they're great people. They're there quickly. All of their prices are fully published on their site, and they even have emergency service if your door does not open or close and you need to get it closed to leave town or to leave the house. 720-370-3987, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
Thank you.
Shannon, what's going on? I mean, no one here?
Nope, nobody. Kelly was goofing with Brad. Had to fix something.
You may have heard that road trips are tough in an EV, but with Google integrated technology, Polestar has you covered. We'll do the work. Tell Google where you want to go, and it will meticulously plan your trip, including charging stops. Yeah, the car plans it for you. Inventory is available for delivery today. Polestar Denver, powered by Excel Energy, a McDonald family dealership. Visit us at 257 Fillmore Street in the heart of Cherry Creek North.
All right, it's my turn to tell you about the art of granite. If you want countertops at wholesale prices and you want to get a quote on the phone, theartofgranite.com. Not just granite, any stone, any natural stone or engineered stone, man-made, any solid surface. You can get it at The Art of Granite with a price on the phone. That's how great they do their job. They are happy to give you the prices. 303-386-5919. You usually get counters within a couple weeks. They do a wonderful job. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. And speaking of a great job and the best prices, holy cow, you won't do better than EuroPlumbingColorado.com when it comes to water heaters. There's nothing to say other than the best deals. No matter what water heater you want, for a 40 gallons, $12.99, fully installed. That's it. With new supply lines for water and a new flex line for gas. And for 50 gallon, it's $13.99. Now, if you want a big one, 400, 200, they'll do it, and they'll beat anyone's price. EuroPlumbingColorado.net, 303-668-6844.
Thank you.
All right, hang on for me, Andrew, and he will be with you as soon as he can, okay? Hold on. Good morning. Thank you so much for calling the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. How can I help you? Okay, so you're a landlord? Okay, and you have a question on somebody with a support animal? Okay, sure. What's your name? Sir? Hello? Hello? Yeah, I got you now. Yeah, are you standing in a weird place with weird cell coverage? Because you're kind of popping in and out on me.
Yo, what's popping?
Okay, no problem. What's your name? M-A-T-T? Perfect. And I can get you on. All right, hang on for me, Matt, and he'll be with you as soon as possible, okay?
And
hold on.
Is the charger working? It's my phone. Won't take a charge. Okay. All right. I wonder if it'd do it. I wonder if, what the hell? A non-connector. What the hell do they call those?
The lightning charger.
No, no, a pad. I wonder if a pad would work.
Oh, like an iPad?
No. But thank you, Kel. Sorry. Yeah, that would work better. Okay, I'll track one down.
Actually, I can probably just barely make it since I'm not going to.
All right, that's my motto every day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom said when show started you were in there for a long time and not in here. Is that the case? Because I'm not here. I'm just being told.
I was in there trying to get the call screener of that computer completely.
Okay.
Stuff on me.
Good.
That is the last
I just sent you. Did a guy named Joe?
When this show starts, if they don't have a call screener,
I did speak with the Joe yesterday.
Okay. I'll tell clients all the time when I was doing this. Hey,
Did-
it's not
oh,
coming
no,
up.
not-
On the first
no.
break, I'll come in.
Well, actually, I don't know what he's.
Didn't get any trust questions last
Okay.
year, too.
Tom, definitely when the show starts, don't need more about that.
Okay.
Just get right in.
But pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got it.
Happy
I'm
to
sorry.
talk to him.
No, don't apologize.
I was trying to accommodate.
Never apologize.
Yeah.
Seriously, never apologize.
Okay.
You are loved.
All right.
So, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Lucky we
Definite-
even have the stream up.
It's
at this
definitely
point.
the downside of work from home sort of stuff, you know.
Oh.
What's Joe's last name?
Well, I'm doing my best here. You saw me
Kept wanting
running
to say,
back and
who's
forth
that,
and back and forth. I mean,
for
we're lucky we have a
when
stream
Arrow-
up right now.
Right?
No, didn't hear from him yet.
Absolutely.
Ugh, God. Okay.
What's up, Thomas?
Kelly.
Not much. I need to take off a little early.
Okay, we got stuck at Kaiser forever, man.
What happened?
She just had to get an.
.com.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. 888heating.com if you're replacing heating or air, 888heating.com, a company you can trust. Or if you just need service, they guarantee to beat any prices based on the same equipment, same service, 303-770-2776. 888heating.com. Okay, so we have, listen, we're getting a lot of good questions on the YouTube feed about this and texting as well. By the way, you can text the show at 57739. It's the same as other shows, so if you put Tom there, you can get a, then I'll see it. Anyway, here's the bottom line. This woman said she made her mortgage payment by phone. And how did she notice it? The first question I got, how did she notice it did not come out of her account? They had to send her a letter saying you didn't make your payment. Now, they do have a record of her call. She's not lying about that. She called. So she calls and gives a routing number and an account number, and they do a phone, ACH, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. I would suggest you start doing it online or sending in a payment. I mean, checks are antiquated. No one should use checks. Checks are a key to your bank account. They are. They're a key. You give someone a key and say, here, you can use it now, and feel free to come in any other time and take money, because you can. Anyone who has a check of yours has a key to your bank account, and your bank will not stop any ACHs. They will not. Absolutely not. No matter what they tell you, they will not stop them. They don't have to see authorization. They don't have to see anything. They need two numbers and two numbers only. That's it. Then they get to take as much money as they want out of your account. Don't do it. Electronic payment's the best. But we're going to try to help her. We'll call over there. I mean, they're already helping her. They're going to erase the bad credit from her account. They just say it's going to take 30 to 90 days. That's just the way things work. Diana has an issue with eviction. Diana, what is going on with eviction? Are you being evicted?
Well, I am. Yeah. Hi. How are you? I've been at this complex for almost 20 years, and
20 years. You've been renting there for 20 years?
Almost. Yes.
Oh, and what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I was evicted without any notice. I mean,
No, hold on. Do you have a lease?
Yes, I do. I have a lease.
Okay, and when is your lease up?
Have you been paying?
The lease would have been up. Oh gosh, probably I believe in May, April, May. It would be coming up any time now.
Okay, and Mark asked, Mark,
have you been paying?
Well, I have been paying all this time except for the last 3 months.
Okay. Hold on. Then you weren't suddenly evicted after 20 years.
Well, I was right. I knew I had been working with the complex manager.
Is this the first time you ever missed payments?
It's the first
That's
time
a
I
no.
ever missed a payment. Yeah, it's not the very first time I've been late, but
Okay.
I was late maybe several
So
years
you
ago.
actually tell me which
Because
months you missed.
So it would have been April, March, February.
Okay. So you okay. Well, what did you want? And now listen, Diana, I really want to help you, but I got to ask some hard questions. What did you expect them to do?
Well, I had gone and spoken to the office manager every month because I had gotten a notice of late payment on my door, saying that they would be, that I was late and they would be charging late fees. So when I did that, I went to the office and I spoke to the manager who seemed to be in charge, and she basically told me that because they don't take partial payments, I would, she wanted me to pay in full.
Right.
But I had.
Now, why? Well, I should ask the more important question. Why did you, after 20 years, why are you missing 3 months?
Well, there's a lot of things that happened over the last year. I was out of work for almost a year. I did get a job that I like, but it pays minimum wage. And then I had a house guest from hell, basically. I had a house guest that overstayed her welcome by 8 months, and it was just such a stressful time that my money situation was very tight, and she was helping, but not really. And so when I got these notices for late payment, I went to the office in person and spoke with who I thought was in charge, and she basically told me that I had no danger of being evicted. However, she did want me to make the payments in full.
Okay, where's your money? Do you have the money to pay?
No, I did not have the money to pay.
So what is your plan right now? If you don't have the money,
Well,
what were you hoping
I got evicted.
What's that?
Well, what was I hoping that
we could do for you? Yeah. I'm curious because we do want to help. But what are you expecting us to do? Call them?
Right. Well, I want to know the legalities of what they did, because what they did is they did not tell me I was going to be evicted. She looked at me in the face and said, I have no danger of being evicted.
Well, okay. That's kind of deceitful, but it's not. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say, Diana. If she said to you, don't worry, you have no danger of being evicted, and you could absolutely positively prove it, you might be able to postpone the eviction a bit, but they have every right to evict you. They're going to evict you. The owner's going to say that person had no authority to say that. In fact, that person is not going to admit saying that. So you asked about the legality. You haven't paid. I can't give you legal advice, but Brad O'Brien is here, and Brad is a real estate attorney, and he can tell you, you didn't pay for 3 months. Do you know anything verbally that she can depend on, Brad?
Well, eviction has to be done through the courts, and the landlord has to follow the process, and ultimately she can't be physically evicted until the sheriff shows up to execute the writ of restitution.
But can she say to
That
them...
happened yesterday morning.
Wait, the sheriff showed up?
Yep.
Wait,
Yes,
how are you
wait,
still there?
They physically moved your stuff out yesterday.
Yeah, probably broke most of it in big plastic
Wait a minute.
bags.
Wait. So your stuff was put on the street. What did you do?
I begged them not to. I begged them to.
Boy, I wish you led with that. I mean,
I didn't know you were on the street right now. Diana, what did you do with your stuff? Where is it now?
It is in a storage unit and at my mother's house. Because I had wonderful friends that came and helped me, but it was on the lawn basically.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Brad, can she depend? Okay, but see, I don't know what difference it makes, Diana. When she said there was no danger, here's what they would... You're trying to say you shouldn't have been evicted. Did you go to the hearing? Because there's a hearing for an eviction. Did you go?
No, I didn't know. I didn't have
I mean,
any
really,
information.
Tom, the question is, does she have any chance in hell, the sheriff already removed her, of getting back in there without doing a new lease and a new agreement and paying money?
And does she have damages? No, I don't think so. Brad, I don't see anything she can do. Do you?
No, if your things are broken during an actual physical move out supervised by the sheriff, there's no liability of the sheriff or anybody acting under the sheriff's authority.
And I'd like to go through this, because people do get confused, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
What are the steps of an eviction? First, you get a notice, right, to cure or to...
Yeah, well, it's a 10-day notice if you've missed your rent.
Uh-huh.
And the landlord cannot start a court case until that 10 days is up. But on day 11, they can file the court case. And then you have a return date, an answer deadline about 7 to 10 days later. That's when you have to file your answer, telling the court why you think you're not in default. And on that day, if you want to contest it, you can ask for a trial, which then happens another 7 to 10 days later. And at that trial, the court can issue an order of possession in favor of the landlord if the tenant does not show up or does not win.
Then after the order of possession, do you have to get another order to take the stuff?
After the order of possession, then the court clerk issues the writ of restitution, but that cannot be served by the sheriff until 10 days has passed.
So after the order of possession, you have to wait another 10 days for writ of execution?
Well, the writ of restitution can be issued after, I think, 72 hours, but it can't be, the sheriff cannot actually execute it until the 10 days is up since the court entered possession.
Okay, but you have to, so the landlord effectively can't move him out until 10 days after the order of possession.
Right. Now, the tenant has the right to cure the late rent all the way up until the minute the court enters the order of possession. But after that, there's no right to cure.
So if a landlord gets an order of possession, they can't go and immediately take the person out. They have to get the writ of execution and wait 10 days.
Right.
Okay. So they have a lot of time. This didn't sneak up on you, Diana.
Right, but whenever I went to talk to her, she assured me that she said, because I said, well, these notices on my door, if you're telling me everything's fine, I said, then why am I getting them? And she goes, oh, we have to do that, but don't pay attention to them. That's what she said.
I mean, that's just out and out ridiculous. I mean, if that's what
right.
I don't know. I mean, I just say that no, I don't think you can rely on that. First of all, you're not going to prove it.
Right, I know. I was gullible, but I had wishful thinking there.
And it's going to be really hard now for you to rent a place.
I know.
And you were there 20 years, my God.
Almost 20 years, so I'm guessing, yeah.
Do you have a job right now where you can pay rent?
Yes.
They might still come after you. They might still come after you for that rent. See, Brad, when you're evicted, that doesn't excuse you from the debt, does it?
No, you can still be held personally.
Yeah.
Now, your deposit you lost. But what you best do right now, Diana, here's the only hope that I see. You're going to have to just save up some money and get a cosigner. That's the only way I see you getting an apartment, is getting a cosigner. 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
Yep.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
I wonder how old she is. I could co-sign.
Sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
Some slowdowns out there to occupy your 10 o'clock hour, starting south of downtown I-25 northbound after Colorado Boulevard. A crash remains in the right lane with stop-and-go traffic back from Hampton. About 5 minutes of delayed driving for folks heading to the downtown area. West of downtown, I-70 westbound before Sheridan Boulevard, a crash blocking 2 right lanes involving a semi with stop-and-go traffic back from Federal. East of there, I-270 westbound, slowdowns remain between I-70 and Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there with highs in the low 50s, overnight low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers. The current temperature in Denver is 42 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
On the next episode of the Tudor Dixon Podcast, swimming superstar and women's sports activist Riley Gaines joins me to talk about how the radical transgender movement has tried to silence her. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So, Harris Family Law is our family law expert, and we talk about it all the time as far as the topics they cover, a vast number of topics. But I want to ask Katie Ellis, one of the attorneys there, a very important question. What if someone wants to represent themselves? When is that foolhardy?
Yeah, so the reality is that in still the majority of family law cases, at least one of the parties does represent themselves.
Really?
And sometimes there are really, really good reasons for that, just financially, Yeah. My advice to most people is at least consult with an attorney and figure out if in your particular case there's a reason that you need one or that you can do it yourself. Most of the time, I mean, the system is supposed to work so that you don't need an attorney. But people have a hard time with missing deadlines, with not understanding what their responsibility is. And I think the scariest part is if you don't have an attorney, you're still treated as though you know what an attorney knows.
And yeah, you are. And let me ask
all
this.
the rules and
Yeah. So if you don't have an attorney, can you go? Does Harris offer partial services?
Yeah, so we have a service that we call the Law Your Way program, where you can get kind of hourly advice, sit down with someone to help you fill out forms, to figure out what you need to do in your case, to review a draft with you before you file it for yourself, help you kind of strategize what exhibits you might need at a hearing. And that's another great option if you're not sure whether you need an attorney, is to at least get some help making sure you're on the right track.
That is an excellent idea. And I think they call it unbundled services. They'll handle any or all of your divorce. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. Hey, if you want a quote right now for countertops and you want to get them in, well, the getting's good, right? Good weather is coming. Well, it's here, really. And you want to get them in before fall, before back to school, all of that. Just you can beat the rush, and you can do it at the Art of Granite and get a price on the phone right now. They do more than granite, of course. The name is the Art of Granite, but it should be the Art of Countertops. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. Wholesale on all countertop materials and prices on the phone, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
Looking 2.5 minutes.
Joseph. He's the guy I sent you, that's him. He owns that company that he's advertising right now. Become the Banker.
Did you and Joe come up with a seminar date? I should put that on the calendar.
He did not verify with me yet, the hotel. I'm going to ask him right now.
No, I'm just asking the date.
That he has not verified it.
Okay.
I mean, if we don't have a place, we're not going to have a date.
All right.
Okay, where's Joe? Joseph. Were you busier during COVID?
I was busy the whole time.
Yeah, I figured people, when they start freaking out, they start doing their wills and trusts and everything, right?
I do real estate, but there was there was real estate going on the whole time,
What? And you never had to step into court. Well, you usually don't anyhow.
I had a trial that was rescheduled for like over 6 months later because of COVID, and ultimately we didn't have it because by then the case was too old and people just wanted to get out of it.
I can't believe I just sent a trust thing to you. That just dawned on me. You don't do trusts at all.
Nope.
I cannot believe I just did that.
I do have estate lawyers deed properties into trust, but I don't create the trusts.
Hey, how?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's go. And let's continue. Andrew, welcome to the show. What's going on with you, Andrew?
Yeah, I was just want to ask about, I see a lot more companies now, when you make purchases, they're asking you to round up.
Yep, that's right.
Charities.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, it seems to me that the company would be able to write that off. So is the consumer...
Now, what do you mean the company? You mean the company making the So the company is taking all the consumer's money and then calling it their own donation? I never thought of that, man. Never thought of that.
That's interesting. That's probably exactly how it works.
I've never thought of that.
I'm sure they're probably making a donation, but as far... To me, it would be a tax write-off for them, so the consumer would be paying more for the goods than...
Well, hold on. The way that would work, from my amateur look at taxes, I would say, just from first blush, if they took consumers' money, let's say it amounted to a certain amount of money, $100,000, and they make that donation, and they take that deduction, they would have to take the income. So, in other words,
why wouldn't the income be a gift of 30 cents or whatever? I'm thinking at
Well, Mark, what are you talking
McDonald's.
about? What I'm saying is, if they charge Andrew money, you money, me money, and they charge us money to round up for charity, and they're going to use that as a charitable donation, and if they do it as a pass-through, no pain, no gain. But if they do it and take the deduction as a company for money given to them by consumers, then I would surmise that the money given to them by consumers would have to be claimed as income.
God, that's we should ask an accountant. It makes me think of Girl Scout cookies.
Why?
Well, because you're paying for cookies. Well, actually, I don't even know. Is that a true charity? I didn't even think of that.
Well, that's a whole different ballgame.
They are.
That's a whole different ballgame. When you pay directly to a charity for something like Girl Scout cookies or
but you're buying them from some neighbor kid. You're not buying from an employee of the Girl Scouts.
Well, yeah, but they're acting as agents for the Girl Scouts, and the money goes to the Girl Scouts. But that can't be claimed as charity unless you pay more than the cookies are worth. You're only...
Oh, my God, they give you 8 cookies for $75. I know you are.
So people think when they go to a fundraising dinner that they can deduct those tickets, and technically you can only deduct the amount above and beyond what you're paying. Even if you bid on something at a charity auction, I was told that you have to take a realistic value for what you're bidding on, and the only thing you get to deduct is the above and beyond, because you're getting something for what you're paying for the other stuff. So, but that is a good discussion. Who do you suggest we call?
Eric, for sure. What's interesting, you made me think of an event we went to years ago. I got a Peyton Manning football on a silent auction, and I wrote off the amount I paid for it. I don't remember what it was, but how would I possibly value? How do you value an autographed football?
Well, that's the thing, Mark. You have to. Because if you do that at a charity auction, it's not a charitable contribution.
But
if you
up
get
until
something,
I sell the football and make a profit, how do you even look at that?
I don't know. That's why we need to ask that. That's a great question. Now listen, what I'm telling you is not something I know as fact. I think I was told this, that when you buy something at a charity, if you get it, whatever you're buying has a value. You don't get to deduct the whole thing. You get to deduct only what you've overpaid due to charity. That's what now that, again, I want to know if that's correct or not. But Andrew, thanks for bringing this up. I mean, it is a good topic. So you can listen to the show. We're going to have an accountant on to ask that. And by the way, I don't think companies take a deduction for that. That's just my gut. I don't think it does. Now, Matt called earlier, I believe yesterday, or we didn't get a chance to go through this whole thing. I think this is Matt. Matt, you called about a landlord. Do you have 2 service animals or 2 emotional support animals? Was that the call, or am I mistaking?
No, I'm an owner of a property.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Do I have to rent to a person with a service animal or a companion animal?
Now,
by law.
Again, Suze, who's that person we have on the show all the time? Mark, who's the person we have about Americans with Disabilities Act, and she knows all about the renting and stuff. But here's the point. The HUD rules, I believe, in real estate. I believe. I don't know, Brad, do you know, by the way? Maybe Brad knows. American with Disabilities regarding rentals. I was told a service animal, yes. An emotional support animal, you don't have to. But, Brad, do you know the lowdown on that?
Yes, it's the Federal Fair Housing Act. Protects both service animals and emotional support animals.
Really? Both?
Right.
So what's to prevent anyone from saying this is my emotional support animal?
Well, there has to be a letter from a doctor or licensed medical professional who's licensed in Colorado on their letterhead and signed that states that this animal is necessary to
health
support
and probably
support
the health
condition
and
of the
welfare.
person. Right.
Yeah.
So there has to be a letter.
So, but if you do present a letter, the landlord must. Well, I mean, how would anyone know, Brad, if I have an applicant with a pet and one without? How would they know why I'm turning them down? I'm allowed to take any applicant I want, right?
Well, the Federal Fair Housing Act says you cannot treat these people with these animals disparately. You have to treat them the same.
Okay. But if you treat them the same, and let's say the other person has better credit or better something else, you figure I'm going to rent to them instead. There wouldn't be anything wrong with that unless they could prove you were doing it just because of the animal, right?
Right. It's an evidentiary question.
Now, Matt, did you have a specific in mind? Do you have someone applying for an apartment?
No, I have my property coming up, and I have a rental service, a leasing company, and they told me that if they apply, that I have to rent to them.
Well, unless you have multiple applicants and you can pick whatever one you want, as long as no one can prove you're discriminating.
All right.
Hey, Brad, can you charge in what you just said? Can you still charge a pet deposit?
No,
nothing. Okay.
Wow.
Does it have to be like a dog? Can you have an emotional monkey?
Yes, any animal.
Oh my God!
The doctor says that the animal will help that person. Any animal is fine.
That's amazing to me.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
You are, there are many disadvantages nowadays to renting, as you're finding out.
Yeah, well, the problem I have is that whenever they put a person with a pet in there, then I have mice issues. Then they complain, well, now I have mice. Well, you have pet food on the floor.
Wow.
You should get an emotional support cat.
Yeah.
I've had that too, and the same thing. The cat food is on the floor. In October, when the mice come in, they come in looking for the food, and then I get and then I have to pay an exterminator to come month after month because of the mice. So I wanted to say no, but I guess I can't.
Hey, I'm going to tell you that it's not going to get better, Matt. Okay, and I'm not so sure it's a bad thing. Service animals are truly needed. Okay, there are some paraplegics that have service animals, and there are service animals that perform a task. The only hazy part I see is when it comes to the emotional support thing. I mean, because anyone, I can talk, and look, if you had a doctor, you can talk them into getting one. You can say, I really need one, I'm nervous without one. I think it's a very low bar for the emotional support. Now, I'm not even saying they're not genuine. I'm just saying it's a low bar to prove that. I mean, what proof do you need other than to say they make me feel good? And all pets make you feel good, right? I mean, so good luck, Matt. Are you going to? I want to know if you're part of Mini Moscow, Denver, where they're going to start controlling your rent. Are you?
No, I'm not. I'm in Adams County.
Well, okay.
I've had a German Shepherd eat 7 doors and literally peel the carpet off of the floor, wall to wall.
Well, I think, hold on, Brad. There would be nothing preventing him from going after the tenant for damages, right? They certainly they can't be overlooked.
That's right. If the service animal causes damage or is a hostile animal causing problems, then the landlord can recover damages and also exclude the dog in that case if they're threatening.
Okay. Wow. So you learned a lot here, Matt. I did. And where can you look up that law? What is it? The Federal Fair Housing Act?
That's right.
Matt, Federal Fair Housing Act. I'm writing it down because I want to look it up too. 303-713-8255. We have a lot to talk about. We're learning a lot today. I love that. And by the way, when it comes to attorneys, Dan McKenzie does estate law for wills, avoiding probate. Maybe if you're facing probate, or you want to do a trust, and he has the lowdown on trust, whether revocable or irrevocable. Listen, this is a complicated area, and if you go with any of our experts for investments or for retirement planning or for Brad with real estate, you still need a good estate attorney in some cases. That's 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS, or the website, coplans.co.
Yep.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America.
South of downtown I-25 southbound after Yale Avenue, we've got a stall in the center lane with stopped-up traffic back from Evans. On the other side of the road, I-25 northbound, we are seeing speeds return to normal after a recent accident after Colorado Boulevard has been all cleared up. Otherwise, a pretty easy drive throughout the Denver Metro. Heading to Commerce City, of course, I-270 westbound slow at Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there today with highs in the low 50s, overnight low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 53 with chance of scattered showers. The current temperature in Denver is 42 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2023.
So, Frank Duran, I can't say enough about. Frank Duran, I've known for the whole time he's been in real estate. It's nearly 30 years. And the service he gives is beyond compare, whether you're looking to buy a property or sell a property. Frank has Team Duran at RE/MAX Alliance, and he will do either part of the transaction if you're looking to buy or looking to sell. But one thing he will do that I love, a free market analysis of your home and what it will sell for based on the size, the neighborhood, the entire set of circumstances. No obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. If you want someone to buy jewelry from you, whether it's used or whether it's vintage, antique, maybe it is something that is just junk, tangled messes, mismatched earring, a coin collection that you've stopped caring about. Whatever it is, broken watches, he'll weigh it and pay it. So whatever it is, when it comes to used jewelry or junk jewelry, DavidEllisJewelry.com, a name we can trust. He's been around 40 years. He's at 3rd and Clayton, 303-322-8779, 322-8779.
40 a month more than people with
3.5.
Okay.
Because
All right,
that
I'll put
extra
that on your
40
list, too.
goes to subsidize, because if you have a lower
Girl,
credit
you're fine.
score,
Please,
generally
gas,
your
gas,
interest
away.
rate's
Tell,
a little
tell
higher.
away.
Oh. So they're going to be taking a little bit higher interest rate for good credit to subsidize lower?
That's exactly right.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it goes into effect May 1st.
Oh, I didn't hear about that at all.
Yeah, it's just so strange thinking. So it's like, okay, I'm getting ready to buy a house. Do I do a 30-day late if I'm at 800 a couple times to get it down to 670 before I get the loan?
You never tank your
Well,
credit score on purpose.
I'm being facetious, but it's just so insane.
Yeah.
People work hard to get their credit score up. But once again, where it really kills me is, this is from the Biden administration, and I don't mind I don't mind higher taxes I just don't mind it for super wealthy, but this doesn't touch them. They pay cash for everything, at least for property. So it's like, okay, let's go after, and it doesn't matter how much you make. It's not income-based. Let's go after the people that pay their bills on time. It doesn't matter if you make $30,000 a year or $200.
Is there a name for this thing? This law?
Yeah, it's here. It's right here. It's let's see.
I'll look up and see, give you my take on it.
How often do you get back to Oklahoma?
Every 2 years, probably. We're due. We were there last July.
Yeah, we were there last May, but getting him there, we have one set of friends he's willing to see there.
Where?
Tulsa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went back last year.
Yeah, for a couple nights. Woo, we got some rain. Oh, man, didn't we, Mark? Oh, woo. I loved it.
I love Oklahoma rain. There's nothing like
Yeah.
a all-night rainstorm. I don't know if you missed that being here.
Yeah, we don't have nighttime and hot at the same time. Oklahoma, it can be nighttime and steamy hot.
Yeah, which is really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, we just don't have that here.
Okay, let me send this to you.
Yeah, we get the gully washers down there.
It rained 2 days straight, and I mean nonstop, and it was cats and dogs.
Yep.
I forgot, what part are you from there?
Tulsa.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my mom still lives there, and I got a brother and sister.
I just sent you an email.
So you still have quite a bit. I have a brother that's still out there.
Cost of living's good.
Oh, yeah.
It's not super cheap, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was amazed how much Tulsa's grown, really.
That whole mall, what was it,
That-
31st Memorial kind of?
Woodland
70.
Hills Mall area.
I used to be on the outskirts. Now it's like the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
there's malls around the mall.
Yeah,
and
it's
restaurants
nuts.
and that same movie theater we went to is, I mean, when I was in middle school there, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
We're big brewery fans. We like to visit breweries when we travel. They don't have a lot of breweries.
You know, one place I just
They have
discovered
one or
there
two.
was this Irish bar called Molly.
We went there. Is it a brewery too?
Yeah, it's an Irish bar.
We went there.
Yeah.
It's a brewery and a bar.
Yeah.
Molly McGuire?
Oh, is it? I thought you said it was a brewery.
Yeah, it's a brewery in
Tulsa.
Oh. They don't brew their own beer. They have like 50 taps from around the world.
See if that's it.
I'm looking.
We went to an Irish bar that also had a bunch of beers. I thought it was a brewery, and it was in Tulsa.
Well, they don't brew their own beer, but they. If you drink enough, you get your mug on the wall with your name on it.
And it's called Molly McGuire.
No, I mean.
I don't remember mugs on the wall there.
Irish.
KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. I want to get Eric Reinemer on quickly for a question we had about charitable donations. Eric, first and foremost, when a corporation makes a charitable donation, is there a limit? Isn't there? Don't you have to rise above a certain limit, a certain percentage of gross income or something?
Well, I guess the first question is if it's a C Corp or an S Corp, because that makes a big difference.
C Corp, let's say that, like McDonald's.
Yeah, so for a C Corp, it's a percentage of their income. I don't deal with C Corps a whole lot. I forget the percentage, but it is capped out.
What about an individual? When they do a charitable donation, they deduct it has to rise to a percentage of their income?
Well, not really. It flows through to their personal tax return, and it's only a benefit if that individual is itemizing their deductions.
And if they do itemize, can any deduction be taken for any contribution, or does it have to be a certain amount?
It does not have to be a certain amount. It's capped out at 50% of your income.
So really, if I can deduct a $100 donation.
You can.
Okay. So
if you itemize your deduction. Yeah.
Right. Okay, got it. Now, these companies that have you round up for charity, if they make a donation, are they taking a deduction for that?
Companies that do what again?
They have you round up at the cash register for charity, and then all
like
that
PetSmart.
Yeah, all that money is accumulated. We're not going to have time to answer it right this minute. I'm hoping we can call you right back. And that's Atlas CPAs and Advisors, Atlas CPA, CPAs, atlasfirms.com. We'll come back to this question. When they have you round up for charity and then they make that donation, do they get to take that deduction or not?
You're going through McDonald's, and you're going through the drive-thru, and there's a little box for the McDonald house.
Tom, are you with me?
And you
yeah.
One of the coolest things I
If
ever
you
did
add up
with
those
Tom
nickels and
Jensen
quarters all over the
was
country.
He went out and raised money on a street corner. I can't even remember what the charity was.
Yeah.
But he raised a ton of money, ran it through his bank so that he could get the write-off.
He did that?
Yeah, a couple of times. I'd go down there and help him hold a sign, get the bucket, whatever, and he made hundreds in a day doing a promoted little event on this.
But he really did donate it?
Yeah, he just deposited in his bank and then cut the charity a check out of his bank so that all that money became a donation, a deduction.
Yeah, but it's my contention that should have been income first.
Right. Oops. Too late. He shot himself. Okay. Here you go.
You want me to have Kelly call you back? Bye. Hey, Kelly? Kelly? Is she in there?
She is. She's on something.
Oh, they might not have us up. Tom?
Yeah.
We're going to call Eric back. He's going to look into it.
I'll just put it on the screen for him.
His gut was exactly like you were thinking.
I was surprised, the casinos in Tulsa. I mean, I don't know if you go to casinos. We ended up going there for dinner.
Weird.
A steakhouse, like a
Hard Rock?
No, it has a Roost. Was it Roost Chris we went to at the?
In it, I don't know what the casino. We didn't go into the casino. We went in, but for the
dinner,
restaurant.
But I was just shocked at how nice
It
and
was.
big they
It
were.
was right by the river.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
In fact, they told us, the people, our friends, that it flooded really bad. The parking garage.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
Oh, sweet, bro. Did you try it?
Not yet.
So here, and then you'd go boom, boom.
TRS.
Yeah.
Theoretically, and I'll try it this weekend if it's easy.
If it works, let me know.
You will be the third to know.
I will buy one.
Yeah.
It's funny. I might have this. I might have this now. Are you sure this part will work?
Right?
Because that's 1, 2, 3.
No, it's not 4.
It looks like 3 to me.
No, I think that's 4.
Is it?
Yeah. Does it even say on the? I mean, visually, it helps to.
Oh no, we'll see. That'd be really cool. Where'd you end up getting it? Just online?
Amazon. Yeah, that is. 4.
How much was it?
20. So TRRS. So the bottom is the sleeve.
When, did you look at why did they make it, or they just gave the description of what it breaks down?
Well, once upon a time would have been able to plug it into the bottom of your phone when it did have.
I updated that.
I mean, 8-inch input, and then
Or
hook up an
expert
actual headset.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
This would be the microphone.
And then have a mic.
Headphones, la la la. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Bell and Pollock has their own phone number.
But it was on Martino.
How do you know that?
Because it was on line 6.
Line 6 is not a Martino line. Somehow he got the back line number.
Someone gave him the back
So
line.
what you need to do is whatever line he called on, call your phone, tell me what phone number that is, and we'll have that guy add it. But that's not a Martino line. That's a K-How, just our back lines.
Okay. All right, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay, but at least we've minimized his calls, like big time. He was calling you 10 times a day and stuff?
No, like 20.
Yeah, to now it's, okay, we've heard about him a few times on Saturday.
Why call it on a Saturday? You know, it's not even, if he's listening to, I mean, I don't know.
But that's, he just has that back line.
He has that back line, so we just need to add that with the...
He might be trying to call.
Bell and Pollock for more representation, do you think?
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is if they talked about it, they advertised for it, they might have been giving out that line during the show, so he wrote it down. Because they do a show. They do a show on Saturday.
I know, yeah.
But the Martino lines only forward to 713 talk, which is the first 4 lines.
Yeah, I knew that.
So,
okay.
oh, that guy is exhausted. Oh, he had me so fired up, girl.
Who?
The prison guy.
He's still calling now?
That's what she's saying.
Saturday.
He's Bell and Pollock.
Yeah, okay. So he does have the back line. We'll
Yeah.
just call the sheriff and block the back line.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He could have got that not just from Bell and Pollock, from any show.
Yeah.
We'll show him.
We'll get the last word on that.
That was the conversation earlier when I was trying to come up with the word wireless.
Did Janelle answer you?
Wireless.
No, of course
I
not.
wonder why she doesn't like you. Or, yeah. We do, and it doesn't help that they
So,
live
and
in
then
the
you kept saying
Panhandle, which is
iPad.
really the
Charge
worst
the
part.
iPad.
Oh, one of our
One of the pads
YouTubers
that,
has
you know,
family
wire-
in the Panhandle, Brad.
They just got, didn't Moore, Oklahoma, they got hit yesterday pretty good.
With what?
Tornado. I mean, 3 people dead so far. That was yesterday.
Well, Tornado Alley has moved.
It's not taking it.
Georgia in the last 20 years.
It's not
Yeah.
taking it.
Isn't more kind of
Yeah,
in
because I have
between
family
Tulsa
in
and
Georgia.
Oklahoma?
Remember Barnesville? My family's in Barnesville,
Yeah.
and that little town, Brad, got hit with a tornado.
That's why all the worst ones now are like Tennessee and
Yeah.
Mississippi, Alabama. Not so much more anymore.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but probably one that died.
I wonder if Nebraska, our son just moved to Nebraska. I wonder if Nebraska gets tornadoes. Probably not too much.
Mm-hmm.
And McNally's, I like that because they have literally like 50 taps.
I saw that, and I looked them up. The place doesn't look familiar, so I don't think that's
go
the
there.
one we went to, but I definitely hit that place
What-
if we went back.
What kind of beers do you like in general? Like IPAs? Or
No, I hate IPAs. I like
stouts?
Germans and
Oh.
Belgians and wheat beers. And so they had this one Belgian beer, this Belgian framboise. I've never seen it on tap anywhere in the world. It's on bottle. And they got it on tap.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's called framboise.
There's a place, it's not bad. It's actually not bad, but a ton of taps in Parker. What's it called, babe? Mild Tap House?
No,
They'll have weird
West
stuff.
Main Tap Room.
West Main Tap. They got at least
If you're ever
50.
in Parker.
And then, of course, the one at the mall, but they're more like, they don't have stuff like what you're talking about. Yard House.
Oh, yeah.
Yard House has a lot of good
I'm never impressed with Yard House anymore. Like
I'm
they're-
impressed with their
because I'm
taps,
only an
not their food.
IPA fan.
Oh, really?
Like, and it's got to be the hazy, citrusy.
I know they try to. I had a jalapeno IPA one for like.
I had it.
Well,
Well, that's an acquired
Makes you
taste.
thinking about it.
Trying to be so inventive, it's just not my deal.
We've had a Mexican beer, I can't remember what, but from a small brewery that had some pepper in it. I'm not sure if it was jalapeno, but
Yeah, it is.
there was
Usually
one I
is, right?
actually liked. But man, it was such a little bit on the backside. It didn't.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Waterpros.net. Whole house water conditioning, water softening under $2,000 fully installed. That's just one of several solutions they have for your water, no matter what it is. PaulTheWaterman.com. 303-862-5554. The best for less. Hey, so we have Eric Reinemer with us, an accountant with Atlas CPAs and advisors, and we use them here, and they're our experts, really good information, and we were talking about charitable contributions. One thing Eric told me is that I was surprised about. I didn't know I could, I itemized deductions, and I did not realize I could put down charitable contributions unless they were 2% of my gross income. And so I haven't been really keeping track of all of them. But in any case, I was told that was the bar. But you're telling me as an individual, Eric, if you itemize deductions and you just make a $100 donation or a $1,000 donation, that all counts.
Yes, and I think, Woody, you might have been thinking about that 2% deal. There used to be a rule where certain deductions were limited to more than 2% of your adjusted gross income, but contributions were never in that bucket.
Okay. Hey, Eric, I just want to clarify something. So on like Tom's tax return or an individual tax return, if they literally say, let's say $50,000, $100,000, if they made a $100,000 donation to whatever real charity, they would owe zero in taxes?
Their contribution, it's limited to 50% of your income in a year.
I understand now.
Yeah.
So, but you get to deduct charitable deductions as an individual. That's good news. As a corporation, it's a certain percentage.
Yeah, I think corporations are limited to 10%. And back to that McDonald's deal, if they take in extra contributions from individuals, it probably would be a wash for them because they'd have to report it as their revenue and then turn around and deduct it as a contribution. I don't think they would be double dipping to answer that last question.
They just basically do a pass-through. So the rounding up for charity, no matter where it is, if they did take a deduction for that, it would turn out to be income on the intake end.
Right.
And that would be ridiculous. Yeah, okay. So I get that. So, Mark, we don't take deductions on when we do our pass-throughs. We just, when people want to help somebody out that they heard on the air, we just pass through. We don't do any kind of deductions on that or income on that. And it's just simply a gift to that person directly.
Well, Eric, I'm sorry to even say this again, but I still want to wrap my head around this. If someone owes $5,000 to the IRS come April 15th, and instead of the $5,000, they made a charitable donation for that tax year of $2,500 to whatever, would they, for the most part, only owe $2,500 in taxes?
Mark, the question you're asking is mathematically correct, $2,500 subtracted from $5,000, but you don't get a direct dollar-for-dollar credit for charitable donations. You get a deduction. And, Eric, explain the difference between a credit is a straight credit.
So it's just coming off of your income.
A credit,
it reduces
I
your
got it. It
income,
just
so
comes
depends
off
on
your income.
tax
I get
bracket.
it.
You might
right.
You might get 30% off.
It's just like an expense. I mean, that's really what
That's
it
right.
is.
So, whatever tax bracket you're in, you can look at it this way. If you have a $1,000 genuine deduction in a 30% tax bracket, it's saving you what is that in a 30% bracket? It's saving you
30 cents on the dollar.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but you were saying, but to round that back around to the C Corp, on a C Corp, does it work the same? It's a deduction from their actual bottom line profit, or they can do an additional 2% of that?
No, it's just if they take in contributions that, for your nickels and dimes, they report that as revenue, turn around and take a deduction up to 10% of their bottom line corporate income.
Got it.
Their max.
Got it.
Yeah, but most corporations, if they collect, do not count it as income and then do not take the deduction. They simply do it as a pass-through.
And then how
about
just because we're on this, how about these deals like Cash for Cars or Cash for Clunkers, whatever they're called, Cars for Kids? They always say, donate your car, we'll give you a full tax write-off on it and a free trip. Do you have to, let's say the car's worth $1,000 and the free trip, the hotel and airline's worth $500, are you only taking $500? How do they get around that?
They are required, you would get the $1,000 deduction, but if they give you something with a fair market value, they're required to state that on your receipt, and that would be reduced from the deduction.
See that, Mark, that's exactly what I was talking about. If you go to a charitable dinner and you pay for that ticket, the full price is not deductible. It's only after you consider the cost of the meal, right, Eric?
Right, and that's stated on the receipt.
Well, if it's stated on the receipt and I never go on that free vacation, or if I buy something at a charitable auction like a signed football, until I sell it, would I still get the full deduction? I know we're getting into the weeds here, but I'm curious.
You would have to take the value of that football or the value of anything you bid on and subtract it from what you bid. Right, Eric?
I would agree with that, yeah.
And then if you didn't go on the vacation, and that'll be my last question. So you get $1,000 for your car, you don't take them up on the free vacation, you got screwed out of whatever the vacation value was?
Oh, I'd still take the full deduction in that case.
Okay.
Because you didn't realize the benefit. And by the way, Mark, I have never heard of any charity for cars giving a free vacation. Have you?
Oh, my God, there's tons of them.
What?
Yeah, they give a free vacation voucher, and they always end the commercials like not valid in Florida or Montana or wherever it is.
It's okay. I never heard of that. I never heard of a free vacation voucher. But anyway, so Eric, basically, then when you're at a silent auction and you bid for something, if you bid under let's say something has a true value of $1,000, a true retail value of $1,000, and you bid and get it for $50. Do you have income in that case?
No, you get it for $50. No, I think that's a strange situation. I'm not sure on that.
Right. I think I just think you got it for $50, but you don't get any kind of a deduction. Now, if it's worth $1,000 and you paid $2,000, you would get a $1,000 deduction, right?
Right.
That's where your accountant's got to get a little. If it's a signed football, how do you? I don't even know how you do that. You value the football at $3, but yet the signature, or you bring it to a sports memorabilia. But just real quick, Cars for Kids. I'm on their website. Donate a car and get a vacation. We'll send you a 3-day and 2-night hotel voucher when you donate your car.
What?
Yeah, that's Cars for Kids. Almost all of them do something similar.
I wonder if that's like, okay. But what good is that hotel voucher? You got to go on a trip, right?
Well, I mean, maybe just go to downtown Denver if it's like, I have no idea. I've never looked into it.
Anyway, so, Eric, is the tax rush over right now?
It's over right now. We're just in mop-up mode, just catching all the folks that didn't quite get in on time.
And then when is the next deadline?
September for corporations and October 15th for personal. But again, if somebody owes, they should write a check now to get some money in to not get dinged for late payment.
Gotcha. That's Eric Reinimer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors, 303-799-9111. Thank you for being here, atlasfirms.com. Okay, we have more coming up right after this.
Thank you.
With their first pick in the NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select you. The Broncos and Bud Light are teaming up to pick one lucky fan and their guest for a VIP trip to the 2023 NFL Draft in Kansas City. The lucky Broncos fan will receive travel, hotel, and exclusive access to the NFL Draft, plus the Bud Light Draft House during the draft in Kansas City. Declare yourself eligible to be drafted by the Broncos at denverbroncos.com/thepick.
You know, there are a lot of misunderstandings regarding annuities, and you'll have some financial advisors flat out say they're no good, which is not the case anymore. Let's talk about how annuities differ, and the ones offered by Joe Chiano are different. Joe, let's talk about them.
Okay, Tom, you're absolutely correct. You know, there's good annuities and bad annuities. You know, the bad annuities are the annuities with the high fees that they charge a client. And the bad annuities deal with the stock market. So they could go up or down. And right now they're going down. Our annuities are totally different. They're fixed. They're fixed annuities and nothing to do with the stock market and very low fee. Our fees are less than 0.5%. It's actually 0.1%. The fees are 0.1%, Tom. Almost nothing. Almost like a no-fee annuity. And it has many benefits, like the bonus that we talk about all the time, 15%, the guaranteed income for life. You know, nothing to do with the stock market, only gaining and not losing money. So people should be transferring their old annuities to this annuity. They should be transferring their 401ks or IRAs into this annuity because they're going to get a better return, peace of mind, and they're going to get 15%. Now, how good is that?
That's really good, and that's a 15% bonus that is yours to keep once you're in there. And here's the deal, okay? It's also guaranteed not to lose a dime that you gain or not to lose a dime of principal. To find out more, 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600. And to find out about more strategies, too, go to this website, becomethebanker.org. You know, I love when a company puts themselves out there, like Garage Kings. I love it. They do garage coatings or garage floor coatings, but it can be done on walkways. It can be done on patios, decks. It can be done in an airplane hangar. It can be done anywhere, and I'm telling you, it's wonderful. It will last a lifetime, and they guarantee it. They guarantee the lowest price, too, GarageKings.com, and never any money down. Think about that. You pay when it's done, guaranteed lowest price, guaranteed for life. 720-252-0370. 720-252-0370, GarageKings.com.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Did you get a pizza?
Oh, I'm all alone here.
He's all alone,
I
drowning in
have
his
to-
pizza.
Doc's not there?
Nope.
Nope. Got peace and quiet today, Tommy.
Deputy Doc.
He said he was going to come, but he didn't.
Oh.
But I have to leave early anyway, so it's better.
Oh, what time are you leaving?
1.
Where are you going?
I have a fun meeting.
Let me guess. Hold on. Let me guess. What could he have?
It's a fund meeting.
A lunch date.
Yeah.
A lunch pizza date.
No.
He's got a pizza date at 1.
Addie's 21 today, Tommy. You should text her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Her first legal drink's going to be a mimosa.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
Her first
I've got
legal-
mixed feelings.
Her first legal drink might have been in Mexico in January when you can be 18.
Oh, it
Right?
was. Her first legal drink definitely was in
Oh,
Mexico.
yeah. She hammed it up.
Her first illegal drink, we don't know the exact date.
Do you know what the hardest thing to buy is?
What?
A nuclear warhead.
They won't deliver them. King Soopers won't deliver them. And Amazon has a delay on them. But you can't even get them delivered at King Soopers. But you can.
Package of bar-ass hot dogs.
Plasticware.
Plasticware.
I get it at Walmart all the time.
I know you'll get it, but they won't.
Costco.
I know you can get it at King Soopers too, but they won't deliver it.
Costco. Why?
I don't know. I have
Costco
no-
and Sam's has big ones.
They will not deliver it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I bet
Did you
Walmart
want me
does.
To just pass that on, or did you want to talk to Tom and the guys? Same here. Oh my God, yes.
Oops.
Well, you got it. I will inform them. Okay. You got it, brother. Have a good rest of the day.
You heard about.
The rest of the day.
Why not? Don't take on the day.
Inform us. What's the information,
I
bro?
wasn't listening. Stand by, coming back.
Needs. Visit spapalace.com for locations.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. I can't believe I haven't mentioned the SpaceX Starship launch. It's big news. You heard what happened, right, Mark?
Yeah, but it's interesting.
The largest, let me tell people who may not have heard, the largest spaceship and with the largest payload exploded.
Yeah, it's a mega ship.
4 minutes into launch. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I kind of watched it live. It was pretty wild, man. So it hit a certain atmosphere. Then what it's supposed to do is separate. Then that one part comes back to Earth and lands right where they want it to land. And then, of course, the other part goes in the atmosphere. When it started to do that, I guess they got to turn it a certain direction or whatever, but it almost looked like, well, it did. It started spinning, not real fast, but kind of spinning out of control, heading back towards the ocean, going back
Wait,
up.
hold on. Is there actual video of the explosion?
Yeah, of course.
Well, okay, I couldn't find it.
But it's not that abnormal. That's the one I was watching live. They're like, "Yep, this is the first, and we'll get so much data out of this. When we do the second one, we'll know exactly what happened, and it won't happen again." So, I mean, they were like almost expecting something.
Do you think it was sabotage?
No, they were glad it lifted off.
Yeah, I mean, they were ecstatic the thing got to the part where it got to. Would they have liked it to continue? Of course, but I mean, they knew this was the first test flight ever.
But to explode, I mean, they obviously...
If you watch the video, you'll see what Shannon and I are saying.
I'm seeing it, yeah. I'm seeing it. So what about it? It's a big
explosion. Is it the video with the 3 guys?
A giant explosion.
They were testing the launch
Looked like
pad.
fireworks.
They wanted to make sure the launch pad would survive.
Yeah. Well, in any case, he said, Musk said, they've learned a lot for their next time. He's very positive about it.
Well, it's like the first space. How many SpaceX things have exploded? I mean,
I don't think has he had one before explode? I don't know. Anyway, let's talk with Robert, who has an issue with Frontier Airlines. Okay.
No.
I know. Robert, what's happening with Frontier?
Yeah.
Man? God.
Well, I don't even know where to start.
Okay, start at the beginning. Where were you flying?
All right. We were flying from as a family of 5, my wife and I and three boys, flying from DIA to San Francisco.
And what went wrong?
And so, well, I bought a bag, a carry-on bag. I paid the $50 or whatever, and my wife did not because they all had carry-on. I'm like, well, I paid, so I get to go on first. So I'm like, see ya. So I left my wife at the counter, and she doesn't like to go on to first anyway because she likes to just to hang out. She hates sitting in the plane. So I take 2 sons in, and we go on, and the plane's loading, it's loading. I'm like, gosh, where the heck is she at? She's taking a long time. I'm like, she should have been on by now. And then she texts me. They're charging me for my personal item as a carry-on.
That fits.
Mark, that happened to Mark and Suzanne.
Yeah, I got a video up of it. Here's what's interesting. I'm starting to learn. It seems to be Denver is the problem. It's nowhere else.
Yeah.
But I sued them yesterday, and I don't know. This might be one. I know what they're going to do. They're going to offer me what I want, but they're going to want me to sign a release, which is normal, so I can't talk about it. I might just take this one the whole way just to be able to talk about it.
Now, here's what I want to know. Did her bag fit in that little container?
It did. It fit in a container. Perfect.
But you had to turn it sideways, right? The handle had to be to the right.
Yeah, because they said the picture shows you put the bag with the handle up, but the picture shows that the handle has to be to the side.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Here, I even go a step further, Tom. It doesn't matter what the bin says. When you go to their website, it gives you the damn directions. It tells you the dimensions. It doesn't say the handle's got to go to the right. When I bought that ticket, I bought it because of the dimensions, not some damn thing on their basket in the terminal. They're a bunch of A's.
Now, why do they want, though, why do they want... I know why they want the handle to the right. I know why.
To charge you.
No, Mark. Seriously, I know why they're going to say it.
Tell me why. Go ahead.
But I still agree it's wrong.
No. Tell me why somebody with a briefcase.
Mark.
No, Tom, I want to hear. Someone that's got a briefcase like everybody in the world used to carry goes in there.
Okay, you say you want to hear it. Shut your mouth, okay? And I'll say it. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I believe dimensions are dimensions are dimensions. But it suddenly occurred to me that most people insert a bag with the handle facing the aisle of the airplane. So they want, when you put the handle for the aisle of the airplane, it's taking up too much space width-wise. They want it to be long and narrow with the handle. They want
it, the way their bin looks, they want it so the handle sticks out into the aisle if you want to go that direction.
That's what I'm telling you.
So they want the handle to stick out into the aisle.
They want it facing the aisle, not sticking out, Mark. They want it facing the aisle.
Okay, Tom.
Do you understand what I'm saying? For example,
honest to God, not in the least.
Okay, well, let's try. Listen.
How do you take a briefcase? A briefcase that if you put it in the bin fits perfect. If you turn it so the handle's going to the right, it's too tall to fit in the bin.
I agree. So shut up about that. I agree that dimensions are dimensions. And I agree that they should put a dimension and stick by it. But in their heads, what they're thinking is when you put a briefcase in, a briefcase is a great example. When you put it in, and the handle is facing the aisle, it is wider than it is, and it's going to take up more space in the overhead bin, but if you turn it sideways, it will take up less room.
You can't put it in an overhead bin, so let's start there. The only place you can put a personal item is right in front of you, under the seat in front of you. You can't put it in a bin, and it doesn't matter where the handle is pointing, what direction, there is no damn difference. The only reason they're doing this, Tom, is for a freaking money grab 3 minutes before you get on the plane.
How many times, seriously? Because, Mark, you're beginning to sound ridiculous because I just told you.
I'm sounding ridiculous. We've had this same call 5 times.
Mark, I never disagreed with the idea that it's a money grab or that dimensions are dimensions. So please, I'm serious. Shut up about that. What I'm saying is they're going to try to justify it by the dimension has to, because they're saying the handle, okay, the handle is when you put it, okay, let's say put it under your seat. They're saying most people are going to put it so the handle is facing their feet, and therefore it's not going to fit under the seat. That's what they're saying. I think they're wrong, okay? So don't go into your diatribe.
What they're saying. It's not what they're saying. It has nothing to do with the damn handle whatsoever. Most handles collapse into the luggage now. There is no handle facing anywhere. What they're saying is, if it does fit, we don't want it to fit, so now it doesn't fit if you turn it.
Okay, let me talk to the caller. What were you saying about the handle?
So, well, actually, we even, because of, so they said the handle has to be this certain direction.
Right.
And I'm like, so my wife talked to me. I'm like, I'm coming off the plane. And so I was talking to the stewardess. She's like, you can't leave. You leave, you're out. And
and the reason they told you the handle has to be in a certain direction because they are thinking that when you put the thing under the seat, they want the handle facing your feet. I know it makes no sense, but I know that's their warped thinking. They're thinking when you go to grab your bag and put it under there, you're not going to be putting it sideways. You're going to be putting it with the handle facing your feet, and it's not going to fit. That's what I'll guarantee you that. And I'm not saying that's the airline's position, but it's the stupid gate agent's position. That's what I'm thinking they're thinking. They're thinking, wait a minute, it's not going to fit if you put it in, because he's picturing you holding the bag with the handle and shoving it under the seat. Why else would they mention a handle? Why else? Because that is what they're thinking. They're not even considering the fact that people can slide it in sideways with the handle facing left or right. They're not even considering.
If they want their feet to go down, they'd have no choice. It's a pure money grab.
Okay. But not, Mark. If it was a pure money grab,
Tom, I have flown Frontier 50 times. Nothing has changed in 3 years up until the last week.
But I
don't
think I don't think it's the airline as much as it is the gate agent.
Okay, then on the video I made, how come when we landed in Las Vegas and I put it in another bin and pulled a Frontier employee right on the video and said, is this okay? She goes, of course it's okay. It fits in the damn box.
Mark, you're making my point. It's there are individuals making a wrong interpretation.
They're not okay, Tom, this is so frustrating to me. They're not making a wrong interpretation. They're getting a bounty on each fee they collect at the gate.
Okay. So they're making, hold on, they're making a wrong interpretation to get a bounty, but it's not the entire airline, as you just said.
Until they started paying the bounty, this never happened. They are inventing stuff now. Next thing you're going to know, they're going to say, oh, well, a personal item has to be blue.
No, and they aren't, Mark. We're not in disagreement that they're trying to get a bounty. What I'm saying to you is, I think if you ask that agent specifically, the idiot would tell you, well, you put it under the...
I did it. You don't think I asked him when you said you got to pay for these? He goes, if you can't turn it sideways, you got to pay. That's what he said.
Yeah, okay. Well, in any case, Robert, what did you do then?
Well, so when we got to San Francisco, so I was basically the agent told me to, you're not getting off the plane. So then they told my wife the same thing. You pay the $100 or you're leaving the bag. And so she's like, well, I don't have a choice. The lines, and they were doing this to multiple people. My wife.
That's what they. Hold on. That's what they told Mark and Suzanne. You don't make the flight then, or you leave the bag. So did you ask another person when you landed? Did you pay and then ask another person?
Yep. So
and
when we landed.
And what did they say when you landed, the other person?
The guy's like, oh, this is totally fine. I'm
See?
like, what the flip?
This is amazing. And where did you land where they told you that?
San Francisco.
It's only jerks that work for Frontier that have the balls to try to shake people down for the money.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they
I
told
don't
me
think Frontier,
in San
there is
Francisco-
nothing on Frontier's website anywhere in the world, Tom, that says anything
agree.
about a handle or turning it sideways. These are individuals that have been empowered to make extra money, up to $10, $20 a pop per plane, per day. Count that money. They can make $500, $600, $700, $800 a day.
And you can't even ask for a supervisor, Tom.
There's
you
no
can't
one to
ask
talk
for
to.
anyone.
There's no phone number. It's a complete money grab. I want to ask the caller, do you think it has anything to do with a handle?
Absolutely not.
Mark.
It does not.
Mark, do you understand
you go to
that
the airport-
Mark, do you understand? Please, dear God, tell me you understand. I am not saying that the handle has anything to do with it, except that that one agent could justify it by saying, well, when you put it under, you have the handle sticking out, it's not going to fit. That is all I'm saying. I am just trying to figure out any reason they would care where the handle faces. And if you think about under the seat, it's got a certain dimension, and the bag will fit if it fits the dimensions. I agree with you. But they're thinking you want the handle facing your feet. That's going to be their stupid reasoning. If you ask one of those...
They have no... the only part we're disagreeing on, that is not any reasoning on any level at Frontier. No one is sitting there saying that after 50 years of flying, now we want handles a certain direction.
But to get the
purely
bounty,
the fact
Mark,
they offered the bounty.
Mark, to get the bounty, that is what an agent is going to say so they don't get fired.
Yeah, only a fool of an agent.
Okay, we agree on that, but I don't know why you can't understand that somebody could make that argument because they want the
Tom,
bounty.
you could make it be the same argument. Here's all I'm saying. The guy might as well said, hey, your suitcase is blue.
Well, except that he is picturing somebody.
He could say it doesn't fit.
Listen,
Sir,
we got to
you
take
gotta
a break.
Put the handle towards
Shannon,
you
we got
to put
take
it in
a break.
the box.
As far, I think. Okay, thank you. Take a break.
Awesome.
You
guys are the best.
K-House Studios.
What's
Trajan
really
Wealth,
fucking
your trusted
stupid
local
is I'm not
fiduciary
fucking
advisors.
disagreeing.
TrajanWealth.com.
Isn't that crazy?
Now,
I've said that in 2 divorce proceedings. I wasn't disagreeing.
A couple slowdowns throughout the Denver Metro to occupy that 11 o'clock hour. South of downtown, I-25 southbound at Hampton Avenue. We've got a stall in the right lane with slow traffic back from Yale. Luckily, delays are minimal for this time of day. Further south, C-470 westbound after Broadway. 2 right lanes closed for police activity. Otherwise, a pretty easy drive throughout the Denver Metro. Heading to Commerce City on the northeast end, I-270 westbound, slow at Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there with highs in the low 50s. Overnight low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, low 50, high again with scattered showers throughout the day. The current temperature in Denver is 44 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Let's talk about EuroPlumbingColorado.net for the best water heater deals anywhere. $11.99 for a 40-gallon tank. $12.99 for a 50-gallon tank. And that includes taking out the old one and hauling it away. And that includes new water lines and a new flex gas line. That's EuroPlumbingColorado.net. And no matter what size you want, they say they will beat any price. That's right. You want a 50, 60, 100-gallon? Do it. An instant water heater, do it. 303-668-6844. 668-6844. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Frank Duran, the real estate man, free market evaluation of your home. Right now, people are wondering, should I sell? Is it a bad time? Is it a good time? Frank can show you stats based on real facts, not fiction. He'll show you based on your neighborhood, the size of your house, the supply and demand in your neighborhood or in the area. He'll show you what interest rates are doing, and he'll show you what you can even buy after you sell, and it's all a free analysis. If you want some real estate intelligence, get Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Thank you.
Hey.
So now what they're saying is, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, once again, I take a briefcase. If this briefcase was shorter,
do you want to talk
they'd
to
say,
Tom again?
okay, the handle's got to go to the right, which would put the briefcase sticking up that much further.
The illustrations are just to show you fit or don't fit.
That's it, fit or
That's
don't.
funny.
Saying, oh, this is a requirement. You got to be feasible.
Because, you know, we're
But look,
live
so
on-
basically, let me just see where this is. You can't hear audio, but so this is, you know, I'm putting them in.
Oh,
Here, I want to go to where the Frontier lady was, though.
No.
Okay, this is it right here. Watch. So
You know what?
that doesn't
I'm
fit.
gonna ask
I
Mark,
agree, right?
'cause he played
That's
a
because he
video
wants it
with
sideways.
Trying to fly the other day. So
You see what I'm saying?
edit
In other
that.
words, here, watch. You can see me put it in.
You know, just
I
put
put
it
it
on
in
our
the way
page.
I
Yeah,
put
man,
it in.
that's a
It
great
fits
idea.
perfect. He said it's got to go sideways.
You got it, brother. Bud.
So sideways, it doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't, because it's not made to fit that way. It was just ridiculous. So then as we get
Some
a...
bags have two handles, and so do you get to choose if you have two handles?
Well, I'm saying, that's my whole thing. It's,
So on an
so
extra
this lady, she's in a different Frontier thing, terminal. So I go over there, I put it in, and I say, okay, Suzanne's filming. I say, is my bag all right? She goes, of course it's right. It fits in there. And then she figures out I'm videotaping, and she's not liking life. So.
Mark, we just had a guy call with a great idea to edit that part down and put it up as a short. You know, one of the reels that plays on YouTube. It'd get a lot of traction, man.
Yeah, we should. I mean, it's so crazy, man. I just can't believe
But
they empower
here's
their employees.
But here's the thing, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing that they're doing a money grab. I'm thinking that these assholes are thinking to themselves, this is how I'm going to justify charging them. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
That is how they want to justify it.
Well, and Tom, I'm not even saying put your part up. I'm saying put Mark's part up just as a way to hammer Frontier and get more.
Well,
hits
we
on
got to
YouTube.
hammer them because it's bullshit. I mean, we've never had more complaints on this before. And why did it all of a sudden?
Here we go.
Why did it start all of a sudden?
Here you go. You're up.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. The question we have to ask, why are we getting all these complaints about Frontier and the bags? When did they institute the bounty? When did they?
I have no idea when it got instituted. I've seen.
Why haven't we heard? Why, like
I've seen videos going back about 5 months.
So this thing is basically people are trying to justify why to keep certain bags off a plane. That's what they're trying to do. I think so now they're saying you got to be sideways or the handle has to be a certain way. Did they ever mention the handle, you Mark, or just the sideways?
He's pointing to a picture. In fact, I showed it to our guest today, Bradley O'Brien.
Yeah.
Basically, all the picture says there's a little dotted lines, and if your bag is outside the dotted lines, meaning the box, you can't take it on. So in the example, they show one suitcase that does not fit in the box, and then they show another one that does fit in the box. The one that happens to fit in the box has a handle. The other one, I don't know, I don't remember if it has a handle or not, but it doesn't even matter.
But
how did you just
but the
looking
one
at that? We're not,
the one they show that fits in the box.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the one that shows it fits in the box, where is the handle? I don't think it should matter. I'm just asking, where is it?
What do you mean, where is it?
In other words, when you
it's pointing, you mean what direction is it pointing?
Yeah, is it up or is it left or is it
to the right?
Okay. Okay, what I'm saying is if this guy looks at that and he's saying, I want to make it like that picture. That's what he's saying.
Well, okay, but who cares? Like I said,
I don't think it matters. Obviously, you can put your bag in. If it fits, it fits. I agree with you, okay? I agree with you. What I'm saying is, if the handle fits to the right, is shown on the right, this a-hole is saying, put your bag in with the handle to the right, like the picture. That's what he's saying. It doesn't make sense. I agree with you, but that's what he is doing.
So what happens if my handle was on the top on that same suitcase? That's so crazy.
No, I agree. He would nix it. He would collect his bounty. Do you understand? I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying what he is doing is telling you to put the handle the way it is on the picture.
I understand what he's saying, but he might as well say your suitcase isn't non-colored and visible like the one on the box.
Well, of course. I mean,
what's the difference? Oh, wait, your suitcase doesn't have a handle. Oh, that's not a suitcase, that's a purse.
So what
you
they should
pay
say
for that purse.
What they should say is, we want it to fit in this or not. And if the handle matters, they should warn you about that.
That's all they do say. That's all they say. That's what the majority of employees say that work for them. That's what their website says. I'm sure that's what their corporate's going to tell me. But it doesn't stop these people from making the money.
Do you think most of them doing it are trying to mimic the image on that thing?
No. I saw one lady with a duffel bag, and a duffel bag is like the picture. Well, it's not like the picture. Here we go again. I mean, I don't even know what to say. The duffel bag fit in, and they told her it didn't fit in because she was pushing it down a little bit. And it's like, who cares if you push it down into the box or if you push it under the seat? I mean, it says it's got to fit in the box. It doesn't say you can't push it down.
What if it has a handle on the side and the top? A lot of cases have that.
Then what would happen? I don't know.
Well, then they would say, "Oh, it's not the right shape. Yours is square, not rectangle."
See,
like
I'm wondering what they would say. I wish I could have interviewed this guy. I would have. Why didn't you
Tom,
roll your camera?
All he said is I said, "What are you talking about? It fits." He goes, "No, it doesn't. You got 4 minutes to get onto the plane, or you can just miss the plane." That was it, bro.
Wow, that is amazing.
There's no interviewing him. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's waiting to attack the last 20 people in line.
Did you see if a number of people?
It's all my opinion, by the way, but they're a bunch of jerk morons.
Did you see a number of people on that flight being rejected?
Oh my God, yes.
Several, Tom. They flew with them. They flew with those same cases. They were almost just like ours. They flew with them all the time.
There were so many people because it's a Vegas flight, and Denver's a huge hub for Vegas, for Frontier, coming in on other Frontier flights that had already been on any other airplanes getting onto this one. They never got flagged anywhere else.
Well,
Frontier Airlines, in my opinion, has gone completely to hell. You want to talk about money grab? I've never seen anything like it. We need a class action attorney to get in. They can't say, here's a dimension, here's the weight limits, and then you pass it, and they say, well, your suitcase is purple. We don't like purple.
Right. And
they're arbitrarily making crap up for the money grab at the end. There is no logic behind the handle is my only argument with you. It's completely made up. I saw a lady with a duffel bag.
Mark, I'm not saying there's logic. I am not saying there is logic behind the handle. I am saying that is probably what this guy is justifying, that you have to match the diagram.
Correct.
I'm not.
My point is, if there wasn't, he was telling people with duffel bags that don't match the diagram, they had to pay too, and their luggage fit.
Well, okay. So, in other words, it's exactly what I said. It's the individual agent trying to grab a bounty, okay? So that's what he's trying to do.
If the bag fits, you must acquit.
Well, if the bag fits, a dimension is a dimension. I agreed with you when I saw the video. I'm thinking, though, because this other guy mentioned a handle, and they seem to be obsessed with the diagram, and the diagram shows the handle on the other side. That's what I was thinking. Unless the diagram, I don't know, are they all the same?
And here's the funny part in that diagram. It also, do you remember the diagram? The handle's pulled out. So I guess you got to put it in sideways, and then you pull the handle out. So it's got to fit in the box with the handle fully retracted. Is that their next step?
Yes, Mark.
Do you see it? Are you looking at it?
No, I don't see it actually.
Yeah. So on the picture on the box, there's the one that's diagonal with the handle. The handle is fully extracted or fully whatever extended, and it fits in the box.
Let's take Mike's comment on Frontier. Mike, give your comment on Frontier. And by the way, B and Eduardo, I promise you we'll get to your calls. Mike, what's your comment?
Yeah, I just talked to my sister. She's a flight attendant for Frontier. The gate agents are not actual Frontier employees. They're subs of Frontier.
Oh, really?
They said absolutely. They say absolutely.
Are they getting a lot of complaints about them?
No, she just knew that that's what they're doing. They get $10 per bag commission.
Well, that's why they're doing it.
Upsell them.
That's why they're doing it. They get a commission
Well, of
on every
course.
bag they
and
reject.
Who's enabling them? Frontier. I don't care if they're employees or not.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Some minor slowdowns throughout the Denver metro to close out the 11 o'clock hour. Into downtown, I-25 northbound looking at speeds in the 40s and 50s between Alameda and Spear. Up on the northeast end of town, I-270 westbound. Slowdowns continue approaching Vasquez. To the airport, I-70 east and westbound flowing free, but leaving the airport, Pena Boulevard southbound looking at slower speeds between Tower Road and I-70. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies later this afternoon with a high of 50 degrees, overnight low of 27. Tomorrow, more clouds with chance of scattered snow showers, high of 53. Scattered snow showers again on Saturday, high of 50. The current temperature in Denver is 44 degrees with your Impact Traffic and weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
He was the last king of America and maybe not as bad as we make him out to be. We'll have the story of George III. Be sure to listen to this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, I have a prediction. Today's 420, and there's going to be a lot of people smoking weed. And for some reason, people believe they can drive and smoke weed. It's not stigmatized like alcohol, but it damn well should be because people are impaired when they smoke marijuana. You're going to get a ticket. You're going to need an attorney. Now, I'm not saying it justifies it. Whether you're drinking or smoking, you shouldn't drive. But Joe Lazara is there for people who are charged because you need to get through the system, even if you want to plead guilty or you want to make a deal or whatever it is you did, or you were falsely accused maybe. Whatever it is, Joe Lazara is there. Flat rate pricing, free initial consultations, 303-429-6200. Made in the Shade is a window covering place that comes to you and does everything in-house, from ordering it to installing and guaranteeing, along with the manufacturer's guarantee. And by the way, they come and measure and estimate free. They have great deals for all budgets, whether you're doing curtains, drapes, shades, blinds, outside shutters, or more. 720-458-6566, 720-458-6566, Made in the Shade.
Thank you. Here we go.
.org.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you want to talk to a stem cell doctor directly about a procedure, maybe to avoid surgery, to grow hair, to do any number of amazing things, reduce arthritis, 833-STEM-GEN. That's from DenverRegen.com, Denver Regenerative Medicine, 833-STEM-GEN. Okay, B has a quick claim question, and we have O'Brien Legal Services on who can talk about that, a quick claim. Eduardo wants to talk about collections. Meanwhile, you need to go to YouTube. Mark, did you post the video on YouTube?
He's working on it right now, Tom.
Okay, he's posting the video of the Frontier guy on YouTube.
Are you a business?
Thank you, brother.
Or responsible for marketing?
Is that in the system, Aaliyah? You know, she died in a plane crash. Yep. Back in like the late 90s. Aaliyah? That's all right.
She was supposedly famous.
She was
Made a terrible
good.
movie.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of bad songs.
Well, I mean, she was going to be like the next Rihanna.
Oh,
well,
really?
the first Rihanna.
Unemployed.
What was her name, Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
The movie was called Aaliyah?
No, the movie was vampire movie.
Video.
Like
of the Frontier guy on YouTube.
There was so little time I forgot to record.
Like, what do you call it?
iHeartRadio.
Twilight? Or was that before?
I don't think
Twilight.
it was sparkly. Right? Isn't that what they call those? Sparkly vampires?
Queen of the Dam.
Queen of the Dam. Very
Mm.
okay. I must have missed that one.
Saw a fantastic little. I don't know if it was like a Funny or Die or something. This guy walking around an office. I'm an energy vampire. I am that daywalker that comes around and
Yeah.
kind of was great. Coming up on somebody in a cubicle and the person's like, no. Hey, so how's your weekend? Oh no!
So after losing interest in immortality, Vampire Lestat goes to sleep, awakening after a long time to the sounds of punk rock, taking up as the leader of an undead band. Yes, yeah,
Well,
it's a loose sequel to Interview with the Vampire.
And God hated her so much he made her clean thread.
Unbelievable. I totally. I had no idea.
Now,
Okay.
his music also awakens the Queen of the Damned, Aaliyah, the first vampire.
Kelly, can you hear me? She was married to R. Kelly for a minute. Did you know that?
Oh my God, no.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't even heard of her.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah.
Aaliyah?
Oh, yeah. She died in like a plane accident in Costa.
Okay, so here's the deal. Frontier told us they have to fit in the bag. We've used the same exact things, the same bags for 100 different flights. We fly Frontier all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in there right now and show you that they fit, one at a time.
Judith Gibson, Elizabeth Irving, Dale,
There's one.
Lexi Presley, and Dale Wigley. Please come to me at 821 for the passport verification. Thank you.
There's two. So both of them fit perfectly, and as you watch, there's not going to be an issue here. What the other airport said in Denver was that if you had to put them sideways, well, that's absurdity. Putting them in sideways doesn't make any sense. The dimensions are the dimensions. Now we're going to go ahead and get on the plane in Vegas. These are the same bags we took from Denver. Don't forget to follow us at referralist.com. Ready? I just want to make sure this is okay.
Are you guys not going on Denver?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you are? Okay. John, my boarding pass. Yeah, change the boarding pass now. Yeah, I was like, really trying to go down. We can hold back right there.
Are we all good here?
Yes, you're good.
All right, thank you. Sometimes they say it's not good. Why would they say that?
Why are you videotaping me?
Because in Denver they said it was not good.
And that is good though? 'Cause it's
That's
not-
definitely good. All right, thank you. Tell me one. Okay, so here's the deal. Frontier told us they have to fit in the bag. We've used the same exact things, the same bags for 100 different flights. We fly Frontier all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in there right now and show you that they fit, one at a time.
Judith Gibson, Elizabeth Irving, Dale,
There's one.
Lexi Presley, and Dale Wigley. Please come to me at 821 for the passport verification. Thank you.
There's two. So both of them fit perfectly, and as you watch, there's not going to be an issue here. What the other airport said in Denver was that if you had to put them sideways, well, that's absurdity. Putting them in sideways doesn't make any sense. The dimensions are the dimensions. Now we're going to go ahead and get on the plane in Vegas. These are the same bags we took from Denver. Don't forget to follow us at referralist.com.
Bad news, you need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. And don't forget, all the drinking water you want under $1,000, fully installed by paulthewaterman.com, paulthewaterman.com. And you can always call 303-862-5554. Let's go to the phones. We have a question about a quitclaim deed from B. And B wants to talk about this, and we have Brad O'Brien from O'Brien Legal Services with us. And Brad is a real estate attorney, or an attorney that does a practice in real estate law. Go ahead. What's happening? B?
Okay, I have been wanting to do a quick claim deed because the other person that I am on the home with has some addiction issues, and I'm just afraid that they're going to do something silly.
Let me ask a few questions, B. Are you related to the person on the deed?
Used to be. He's my ex-husband, but this is a rental property that we agreed in the divorce settlement to keep as a rental and keep that together.
Okay, if you agreed to keep it together, you would have to have his agreement to get off the deed. I want to talk about the surrounding issues first. So, do you have his agreement to come off the deed?
Not yet, but I didn't think I had to have his agreement, and that's why I'm calling.
Well, of course you do. Well, otherwise you'd be stealing it. I mean, here's what would have to happen. B and what's his first name?
Alex.
B and Alex would have to together quit claim the house to B. In order to do that, Alex has to agree to it. Am I right, Brad, or not? I mean, you can't just, otherwise it's fraudulent, right?
Well, I'm not a family lawyer, but and I don't construe separation agreements, but
no, I'm talking about the quit claim deed.
Yeah, but they can agree to do anything now, even if the divorce decree says something different. If
Of
they
course.
want to agree that they're going to transfer the title from two of them to one of them, they can do that if they both sign.
My question is, can B do it without Alex's consent?
Can she do what?
Transfer the house into her name.
Well, no.
Of course not. Right. She was asking if she could.
Okay.
That was her question. She thought a quitclaim deed would allow her to do that, and it won't. If you did it without his consent, it would be fraudulent, B. That's the idea.
Okay.
But you two can agree to it. Is he on the loan, or is this house paid for?
He's on the loan.
Well, okay.
But I think, yeah.
Is he going to get off the loan?
No, I wouldn't take him off the loan because then I'd have to refinance at a higher rate.
Yeah, so
but
your
I
lender
think
would
we
have
could
your
get
lender
cash.
could possibly have something to say about this too. So, the fact that he has addiction issues, it's too bad. But man, you're tied at the hip to this. You're attached at the hip to this guy for this real estate. I mean, does he? I mean, I don't know. I mean, does he know he has a problem?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what are you afraid of?
But he tends. I'm afraid that he tends to bring other people into our business, and I thought that maybe because he talked about a quit claim deed, and I was like, ooh. So I thought maybe he was going to try to do that without my consent. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a lawyer and do this.
B, listen. No one can. You're partners on this house. You can't just take him off, and he can't just take you off. Now he could fraudulently, right? We've had that happen. We've had cases where people called the show and forged a quit claim deed. So
yeah, I never did that.
yeah, so I mean, he could forge your name and say that, but is it likely he would do that?
No, I don't think so.
Now, Brad, I want to ask you something. Okay, they have a divorce decree that said they would keep it. And I know you're not a family law attorney, but if she wants to, if she doesn't want to be partners with this guy anymore, there's got to be a way to get around this. I mean, can she, as a partner, if they don't have a partnership agreement, could she force the sale of this home saying, I no longer want to own this with you? And would partnership law take over?
No, this is not a partnership. But the first place to look is that divorce decree to see what it says about, if one party wants to get off the title. But
no, that's not in place.
Yeah.
And I want to keep the home. I think I'll just try to see if he'll take a buyout and I'll pay him what equity there is, and then just see if he'll sign a quick claim deed at that point.
Yeah. Well, co-owners of a home are called co-tenants, and co-tenants always have a right to force the property to be sold, split and sold, basically. And you can't be compelled to stay on title. If you want to sell it, you can. So there's a court action called partition that can force the sale and of the home and then the split of the money.
So she can force it.
Yes.
And and so how would she do that?
Well, that's a court action called a partition action. That's the name of the claim that you would bring.
And that would mean I no longer want to own this with you.
Right.
And then, you know, I mean, you might want to consider that, or you might just want to ask him if he'll take a buyout. I imagine you'd have to come. How would you come up with the money to do the buyout? And if you did, the lender may not want, make you refinance.
It's almost paid off. It's almost paid off, and he wants some. He wanted some materialistic things for me, like vehicles that I got.
You can do trades. Now, how much do you owe on the house?
That's what I think. 70, about 68, 70. Let's just round it up to 70.
And how much? How much does is it worth?
300, and that's what Zillow says.
Well, let's just for argument's sake say it's 300, and you owe 70, right? 70. Okay, so then the equity you would have to buy him out of is approximately 300 grand, approximately, right? Did I do that right? 300. No, of course not. No, of course not. 300 minus 70,000, right? I'm sorry. 300 minus 70,000. So you would have to just do. You would have to split. Do you have? How would you come up with the trade to give him?
He wants 2 trucks, a boat, and a camper.
Okay, will that come up to
And
200?
I
Will
have
that come up to 115,000, which is his half?
Easily.
Oh, well, if he would take that, but you better do everything in writing. Brad, is this the kind of transaction that I don't think a normal real estate person could do? Is this something you could do?
Yes, I have done very similar transactions like this before.
That would be something I would do. I would call Brad, real estate attorney, O'Brien Legal Services, and what he would do is this. You would essentially be buying his half of the house.
Yes.
And then you would be buying it for certain items. And you would establish an agreed-upon value for those items, which would help you have a basis in the house and all that. But you're buying them out. And but you're going to have a problem with the 70 grand on the lender unless Brad, what would happen normally if she buys out that other guy? What would happen with the loan? Would they call it due if they found out about it?
No, most likely not. A transfer from 2 owners to one of them does not trigger the due on sale clause of a mortgage.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be a problem. But most people are not going to get off the title to the house if they don't also get off the mortgage at the same time. So he's probably not going to agree to deed the house but stay on the mortgage. So she's probably going to have to refinance and get a $115,000 loan.
Yeah.
Except for the
Or you mean the $70,000 loan?
Yeah, if there was
70. Yeah.
So
I know what he meant. How do I get a hold of him though, Brad?
Okay, I'll give you his number. 720-370-7388.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so thanks for calling. I hope that helps you. But you really need to get somebody to help do this and negotiate. But negotiate with him. Try to get all that nitty-gritty off the table first. And then once you come up with something, call Brad and he can probably put it together. But maybe he won't care if he's on the loan if you tell him, I'm going to try to pay it off as soon as possible. Or maybe he won't even bring it up. I don't know. But most people shouldn't be on the loan if they're not on the house. That would be foolhardy. Because, they have an exposure there. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We got a lot coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Frank Duran, the real estate man. Again, if you needed a market valuation of that home, he can do that, and he can base it on true life experience, 303-920-1622.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid
10 seconds, Tom. You're coming up next.
timeshare cancellation guide, absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
You know, I love talking about Garage Kings because there's nothing bad to say. I mean, first of all, no money down. If you want to coat your garage floors or your shop or your walkways or patios, Garage Kings will do it with no money down, guaranteed lowest price, guaranteed for life. 720-252-0370. You don't get better than that. GarageKings.com. That's the guaranteed lowest price. No money down till the job's done, and then you pay it. That's it. When you're pleased. 720-252-0370. You know, retirement is something that no one really knows about. I mean, they really don't because they only go through it once. So they have to find out from others. And that's why I decided to choose Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, and they're a sponsor of this show. And I chose them because they have been through it many, 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 many times with clients. And they're a family-owned and operated business that looks out for you. They look at your investments, your insurance, your estate planning, everything that you have, and they tell you where you're strong, where you're weak, where you need shoring, where you need help. And then they help take your retirement elements like IRAs, 401ks, maybe a pension, and put it together for income for life. All of this is done under one roof with experts at Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. They do a great job. I urge you to call them for a free evaluation of your situation. There's no obligation, and they'll meet with you. They'll come to you. rpcenter.com. 970-663-3211. That's 970-663-3211. Did he put the video up?
He's been looping it on the video feed.
Oh, okay. So, but it's also up, right, on the site?
You mean on...
it doesn't matter. If he's looping
I
it.
didn't know he was doing, let's see here, referral or troubleshooting. I'll have to ask him for you. Maybe they should go on the Sleaze Brigade.
God, I can't believe all the bullshit they're doing.
You want to give Columbine a mention?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
Somebody mentioned it on the YouTube. It's depressing.
I just don't.
Hey, I wanted to tell you I finally got Jordan Jackson from Security Central scheduled.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
When is he coming?
I think May 11th.
Okay.
Couple weeks.
All right, 15 seconds, Tom.
Hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, 888heating.com for heating and air repairs or replacements for your entire house from a company we know and trust. That's 888heating.com, 303-770-2776. Listen, we've had quite a discussion today on all kinds of stuff in Frontier bags and how they're doing a money grab to try to tell you that your bag won't fit in the bin in all ways. And they are ignoring dimensions and saying you have to pay. And we had a call today. Now, this happened to Mark and Suzanne. Then we had another call before, and we had some texts.
I had 2 emails. I had one today and 2 yesterday on the same thing.
And then today we had
another
one,
caller coming on.
And it's exactly the same. And what's really funny, not only is it the same that at Denver, they stopped him from boarding minutes before or stopped them from going unless they paid. When he got to the other end, he did what you did and put it in there and asked a Frontier employee, is this okay? And they said yes. Now,
then we had a caller call up today and say that the people that work there don't work for Frontier, but they get a bounty if they collect that money from Frontier.
Right. Now, here's what's weird. We found out that they're not employees, supposedly, of Frontier. On what are they're independent contractors or something. Now, obviously, Frontier would be responsible because the gate agents, though, I guess they tell us are from another company. And they are given a bounty from Frontier in order to get more money. So, in other words, they get a commission, right? Are we sure it's $10 a bag, or do we not really know? I wish we could talk to someone who works for the company. I'm trying to look for the company.
Tom, apparently, according to a YouTubie, Menzies Aviation is the company that employs the Frontier gate agents.
Menzies Aviation.
Menzies, Menzies, and the pay rate is $17.29 to $23 an hour.
Yeah,
okay.
Imagine getting an extra $10.
Menzies, okay, here's Menzies Aviation in Denver. Menzies.
Hey, I sent a link over. We have an attorney in studio, real estate guy, great guy, Brad O'Brien. But Brad, I sent you a link right to Frontier, as you can see, and that's to their personal item. And you've been listening to this. I would just like an opinion from you. Keep talking. He's right. Looking it up.
Okay. Now, Menzies Aviation in Denver is on Undergrove Street. I've never heard of it. Undergrove Street. And they have a phone number here. I wonder if we should try to get someone on to talk about it. I wonder if they would talk about it, or if they really do. But it's flight support, Menzies Aviation in Denver. And they say they're aviation consultants, but look it up online, and you'll see the knowledge panel on the right. We ought to try to get them on. Their website is menziesaviation.com. Yeah, it shows baggage, a baggage guy in the front. So our services, let me see. They have ground services, air cargo services, fuel services. Let's see what they say under ground services.
And I can tell you,
ramp handling, de-icing. Passenger services, Mark. Yep, they do. Yep.
And they wear Frontier Airlines while they're doing it. The uniforms at least.
They do cabin, cleaning and take care of. They do baggage. Okay, baggage agents, customer relations. So they do a lot for airlines.
We should put them on the sleaze brigade, Tom.
You mean Frontier or them?
Well, Frontier for sure.
I mean, really, we got to get a comment. Can we get a comment from them? Why haven't called Frontier?
There's no phone number.
They have no PR at Frontier, for God's sakes.
I've got one contact just because I sued him before.
I want to ask
that contact, anything I send, there's no discussion.
And if you look at the bottom of Menzies' website, it looks like they're based out of Scotland, Tom.
Well, let's call them. Let's call over there and see if they have someone who can talk in their PR department or something. And Frontier's got to have somebody front-facing for the media. They would have to, for God's sakes.
Why?
I mean,
Why would they, with all the complaints they get? I mean, seriously,
well, that's
why?
That's why. I'm looking at Frontier. Oh, there is a Frontier Public Relations, but it's literally Frontier Public Relations. I mean, it's not for Frontier Airlines. That's just their name.
Read that. You read their rules and regs on baggage. What's your take, Bradley?
Yeah, Frontier just provides the dimensions.
That's
and
right.
Says that the handles, wheels, and straps have to fit in those dimensions.
And they never mentioned the direction of the handle.
Correct.
Nothing.
But the guy told the guy today, well, your handle's got to be over here, and it still has to fit. Well, then you're talking about either a square bag or, I don't know. I think that it's obviously not consistent. You know why? Because this size bag's been being brought on planes for years.
We have used the same bags on Frontier for, and I'm talking just personal items, 5 years. And nothing has changed on their side. When I ordered these bags, I made sure they would fit into Spirit Airlines, which is even smaller than Frontier.
And again, you even asked the gate agent or somebody, a Frontier.
It's right on my video. It's crazy.
Now, is that video up?
I've looped it. I'm really doing the real production one, and then we're going to do a post. I think it'll get legs. I think it'll get legs quick, so I don't want to do that one. I want to really explain the story, zoom in on the employees. I really want to tell a story with this video.
Okay.
So in other words, I'm asking for your help in the editing.
We're gonna do it for sure, because I think it has legs too. I mean, you went to every aspect. You went right to the container. You went to the other person. You showed it very clearly. Yes. What's going on?
Hey, Tom, I just got an email. It says, my brother works as a pilot for Frontier, and those gate agents can make hundreds of dollars extra a day by charging for an oversized bag.
Golly.
Well, actually, that's not even correct. For charging not for an oversized bag, but for charging for a perfectly fit in the box bag.
Yeah, it's all
but
the
that's
same,
what
they're doing.
That's how they flag it though in the system, Mark.
And what's funny is, let's look at what Frontier did. I think it was about 3 months ago. It might even been a little longer now. They got rid of any form of phone, so you can't call them anywhere, anytime, any place. No phone number anywhere. Then all of a sudden this starts happening. You know why? Because if there was phones right now, they wouldn't even be able to take calls. So really, as a business, I'm going to say they were smart. They knew a lot of this was going to happen. This is my opinion, of course. So what they did is got rid of the phones before they got flooded with complaints because the gate agents are ripping people off.
Who is the CEO of... I'm going to look that up. I mean, because... Oh, my God.
Some old bag.
Mark, we suspect everybody's listening to us. I typed in, who is the, and it comes up right first thing, CEO of Frontier Airlines. Now, come on. Yep, a Frontier Airlines.
He still doesn't get his phone. All these apps he installs, it allows him to listen to the phone and advertise.
His name is Barry Biffle.
Barry Biffle, yeah.
The Biffle.
We should
Where's
try.
Biffle live?
You know
Is
what?
he a Denverite?
We really should try to contact Barry Biffle. This guy's the CEO. I wonder what this guy thinks. I mean, geez. Barry Biffle.
Apparently, according to Google, you can reach Barry Biffle at the headquarters phone number, 801-401-9000.
Oh, no, don't give it out. I want to call right now. I want to book Barry Biffle.
I would love dial that number and see what comes up.
No, seriously, let's do it. Let's see what happens.
801.
Oh, don't say it on the air.
Okay, hold on. I'm calling it right now.
Because everybody will call.
Off the air. Don't freak out, Dragon. I'm not.
Meanwhile, let's take Ernest. Ernest, go ahead. What's happening?
Tom, I got caught up on this Frontier deal, and I'll tell you what I didn't like.
Okay, oh my God.
Oh, hey, hold on.
They just charged me a normal rate for a little personal item bag.
Oh, hey, hold on, Ernest. Hold on. Hold on, Ernest. You're still up, but hold on. Mark, what did you get?
Well, okay, here, I'm just going to play it now. I mean, it's a recording. Listen to this.
If you are calling from a mobile device and would like to start chatting now, please press 1. Message and data rates may apply. If you are not calling from a mobile device or do not wish to chat with us at this time, please press 2.
Okay, so let's hit 2.
Okay, as a reminder, we offer several ways to reach us. which
Yeah.
can be found on the customer support page
Sure.
at
Yeah. So anyhow, everything leads back to the chat on the Frontier website.
All right, now Ernest was telling us something. Go ahead, Ernest.
So I checked into a Frontier airline flight, and I had a personal item, just a little duffel bag for the overnight stay. They asked me to put in a compartment. It pretty much went in there, but they still made me go and pay for an extra size bag, and they didn't just charge me a normal rate.
But why?
They charged me $99.
Wait a minute. But why,
Mine
if
was
it
110, dude?
But why, if it fit, did they charge you?
They said it didn't quite fit in there. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm going to put it under my seat. It's a personal item." "Well, no, it doesn't fit in that box." I said, "Yes, it does." And the guy was being argumentative. I just said, "Fine, what do I do?" He said, "Step up there to the podium." I went up there and they charged me $99. A big bag, 50 pounds is $50, Tom. So they charged me $99.
But none of that matters. What matters in this guy's call is it fit in the box. Now, we're taking him at his word, but
Yeah.
so nothing was
Yeah.
popping out of the box.
No, it was in there, but there was a little bit of I guess just a loose bag. It's a loose duffel bag. It was not like
That Marks has seen. Okay, duffel bags, and so see, duffel bags are weird because they can easily be scrunched down
Same
to
with
fit.
the backpack.
Yes, that's exactly it. I could have just jammed it in there, tucked it in there. He said, "No, don't fit." I
Yeah,
said,
which is
"No, I can
ridiculous
make it
because
fit."
if you put two basketballs in it, it would never
I'm
fit.
sorry, but you got to be crazy to fly Frontier. You got to vote with your dollars at this point. You got to vote with your dollars, and I would not do it at all. I mean, you never know if you're going to get popped or not. It's totally inconsistent. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Harris Family Law, I want to mention this. They also do estate law. Now, that means in conjunction with a divorce or separation, but separately. If you want a will, a trust, if you want to avoid probate or you're facing probate, if you want to do a family trust, whatever it is, estate planning, harrisfamilylaw.com, 303-515-5000.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by JSX Airlines.
Some slowdowns to occupy the noon hour throughout the Denver Metro. Starting on the west end of town, I-70 westbound. Watch out. Police have the right lane closed between Wadsworth and Ward Road. Looks like there's an ongoing investigation going on. Stopped up traffic back from I-76. About 18 minutes of delays through the area. Into downtown, I-25 north and southbound showing intended speeds. And up on the northeast end to Commerce City, I-270 westbound. Slowdowns continue at Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, highs in the lower 50s today. Overnight low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers with a high of 53. The current temperature in Denver is 45 degrees with your Impact Traffic and Weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Enjoy private jet.
10 seconds, Tom. You're coming up next.
On jet service, changing the way you fly from Denver Boulder. Check in 20 minutes before your flight and save time flying between private terminals on 30-seat jets. Leave the crowds, lines, and stress behind. Visit jsx.com and book your flight today.
Let's talk about American Restoration. If you have a fire, a flood, a broken pipe, asbestos, mold, maybe an unattended death, even crime, and you need to clean up your property, the number one rule, don't ever, ever let your insurance company pick the company. They're going to pick quick and dirty companies that come in and do a schlock job. I'm telling you, we have the complaints here on the show. You need American Restoration 24/7. And I'm telling you why. They have the EPA certifications to mitigate dangerous substances quickly and to help you rebuild and restore your property. American Restoration. They'll do as little or as much as you want. Unbundled services or the whole job, you get to choose. You have Rock and his team with the proper training and insurances to get it done. That's 833-7-AM-REST. They are a local company. That's a convenient number, 833-7-AM-REST. That's AM-REST, 833-7-AM-REST. Online, amrest247.com.
When looking at, I don't even, I don't, in a class action, I don't even know how you calculate damages, but I know this.
But he's worth a call.
Yeah, but it'd be great to talk to him on how you do it, but you'd have to have a national advertising campaign.
Right.
Just like the
Well, you have
Lejeune.
Mark, you don't necessarily have to have national advertising because
I bet
Listen to Tom. Listen to Tom. You don't have to have national
not
advertising.
necessarily a national advertising campaign if you pay affiliate law firms a percentage.
Well, I'm saying just to get the people that you would join in the class action.
Right, but a lot of law firms, they affiliate with you, and then they get all they do is qualify people, send them to you, and then they get a percentage of that.
I'm just thinking economically I don't care if it's individuals around the country doing some advertising or one national campaign like Fort Lejeune. I bet they've got a $500 million in advertising. I almost guarantee it, if not more. But my point is, those damages can be $100,000 to $1 million per individual.
Yeah.
The damages here are going to come down to anywhere from $55 to $110.
Well, I've gotten $5 from Google over class action. I mean,
Yeah,
But the other thing is, what about those people that legitimately got charged, maybe trying to join in on it? How do you decipher between the legit and the non-legit?
Well, that's what the attorneys do. They
That's
find,
their job.
Yeah, they qualify the class. It's if you've flown, if you were charged. They probably want to see if you were charged. But
yeah, I was telling Mark, I think Adam Slater just might be worth a phone call.
well, it would be fun to talk to him. You might want to get him on.
Let's try that. Kelly, see if you can get Adam Slater up. Do you know who that is?
If not, let me see if he's on our expert.
I'll get her when she comes back.
Okay.
I got to see if he's on our expert list. If not, I'll have to send her.
I
the
think
info.
that would be good.
I'd be curious. Just class actions in general, like, man, if you just prove through different videos in different ways, there's a ton of videos out there like I did. So if you could prove that they do have this practice and it's happened all around the country, but you can't prove how many people it's happened to, like how do you put...
I don't know. I don't know. That would be good to ask him how you value how they do it.
Because like I said, the advertising, if one firm was to take it on as a class action like this guy we're calling, I mean, he would have to lay out the big dollars. Although, you know what you could do? Just buy billboards in the airport. Has Frontier ripped you off? You do it right in the damn airport.
Man, I got to believe there are a lot of people out there.
Well, we've had 4 or 5 just in 2 days, man, since we talked about it, because it happened to us, Friday. So if we've had 4 or 5 people in that quick of time, plus I had some emails.
So why are okay? Jeez.
I texted the guy.
Who was the guy? Who was the last guy we had on?
Does
anybody remember his name?
Mark or something? I have it on here. Hold on.
This guy's Robert.
Robert. No, that's what I meant. Robert. Yeah.
Was his name Robert for sure?
Robert Woodbury. I have his number and his information if you want me to text it to him.
Wait.
Text to you.
Text. No. Was he on the air already?
Yes.
Okay. I was seeing if this email got on the air.
No.
And I've got another one I got to find. I thought I sent you. He might not have phone number.
And who are we talking about? Are they
Kelly? We want to get up. Tell her who, Suzanne.
Are they called gate?
I texted him first.
Are they called gate agents?
Say it again.
Are they called gate agents?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
10 seconds, guys.
.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I found Barry Biffle, the Frontier Airlines CEO, on LinkedIn. He doesn't post. He basically has a profile, and he has 500 connections, not much. And he is basically not much going on with Barry. He doesn't post. He's just there. Oh, wait, he reposted something about their jet engines. I mean, nothing really to do with the operation of the airline itself. So here's the thing. Are you thinking that this is a massive, massive problem? What do you think? Is it a massive problem? And is it affecting a ton of people? That's what we have to figure out. Because we're getting a lot of calls, a lot of texts, emails. So and this is just in a few days we've been discussing it. But they seem to be bending over backwards to make a bag that fits in a container oversized. They tell you to flip it on its side, or that your handle has to be on the left or right or whatever. It doesn't seem to matter. They just look for an excuse. Duffel bags, they tell you, no, that's not really fitting. And you can't argue because there's no one there. And there's not a supervisor. There's not a phone number. You're at the mercy of that agent. So when you tell that agent, who we think works for that independent aviation company, but they're agents of Frontier, when you tell them that you disagree with them, big deal. You're at their mercy. And they get $10 a bag. So they're making extra money, hundreds. According to one guy that works at Frontier, they're making hundreds of dollars a day extra.
That was a pilot.
Think about that. If you flag 10 bags,
or said he was,
you make an extra $100. You're flagging 10 bags. And
that could easily be one flight, though. How many flights do they load a day?
And you get people pissed off, but there's nothing they can do about it because they are getting on a flight. And maybe you target the ones, I don't know, do they know who's getting on when, and do they look at your ticket? Because, do they have a way of knowing who's under pressure is what I'm saying.
Dude, it's like selling a tourniquet to someone bleeding out.
I think they target the people that are getting on. Like Mark and I wait to the last minute to get on the plane because then you're under pressure.
Okay. And then they target this guy. Remember, he was on, and his wife was getting on last minute. His wife was too.
5, 10, yeah, I'd say 10 people in line that all got flagged, and they were all basically saying the same thing. It fits.
So wait, think about this. If they have 3 or 4 flights, this guy's making $400 a day.
Well, it'd be more than that. It's not like they sit at that one gate. The second that one's loaded, they go to another Frontier gate.
Well, that's what I mean. But do they do it more than 3 or 4?
I bet they're working 10 to 15 flights a day for Frontier.
And so you're talking one gate agent working that many flights?
Yeah, I would say each gate is what? When they actually get involved and come over is probably a half hour to a 40-minute ordeal. And if they're a gate attendant and they're working a typical 8-hour day, I'd say they're doing, somewhere around 10 a day.
And then, so somebody could be making an extra $1,000 a day.
I would definitely think so.
303-713-TALK. Okay, so is Brad O'Brien there? I mean,
Yep.
Okay, Brad. I want to know, are a lot of people financing what they sell? Are you getting many people wanting to hold the note, or buyers, and you're looking at finance papers for where sellers are financing?
I'm starting to see more of that now with rates going up. I think we're going to see more seller financing.
And a seller finance, no matter what, if you have a loan on the house, you're going to have to pay that off. But if you don't have a loan, it would be easy to do a seller finance. And basically, they can pick whatever rate they want. I mean, they can pick whatever terms these people agree to, right?
That's right. And you might get a better purchase price, sale price, if you provide the seller financing.
Have you ever drafted or read, Brad, a lease to own or a rent to own that was somewhat legit?
I don't see too many lease to own transactions really at all.
Okay.
They used to be
plentiful. They never
man.
end up getting it.
Yeah, you can do a land installment contract, but those are fraught because if you miss one payment, like 10 years down the road on a 20-year payment plan, you can lose the house instantly.
We had a woman, remember that elderly woman, that older woman, Mark, in the mountains that had a house, and she was, something happened.
It was a rent or lease to own, and she missed what, like a payment or something.
Now, what are these installment contracts you're talking about, Brad? Are they legal?
Yes, they are legal. You can do it.
It's called a land installment?
Right.
And why is it
an installment contract?
But why is it, if it's a house, I mean, they're buying the house though, right?
Yes, they're making payments. They don't get the deed until all the payments are made years down the road. So instead of the deed at the closing up front, you get the deed down the road at the end.
And they're totally legal to do that. And the lender, if you have a lender, your lender doesn't care?
Well, a lender can take a position that you've sold it and triggered the due on sale clause, and that those kind of transactions are called subject to. So you're selling the property subject to the existing mortgage.
So you get to possess the property, you get to get in the property, and you're making payments on this contract. And at the end, if you miss one payment, there's not a foreclosure at all.
Right.
You just lose the option.
Right.
Wow.
Yep. So I rarely see those kind of transactions, but they're normally, you'd see them out in rural areas and on very smaller properties, like maybe a house that would sell for $50,000 or something like that.
Okay. We have
Or
more
land
coming
use.
up. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-8255.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Colorado 811. Call before you dig.
Some busy driving throughout the Denver Metro before we hit that 1 o'clock hour. Drama on the west end of town. I-70 westbound between Wadsworth and 44th. Looks like police activity with the right lane closed. Stop-and-go traffic back from I-76. The road was closed as of a couple minutes ago. It is reopened with the right lane blocked. Otherwise, a pretty standard drive throughout town. I-25 southbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. Rocks 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies this afternoon, highs in the low of 50s, overnight low of 27. Tomorrow, scattered showers with a high of 53. Saturday, chance of snow. The current temperature in Denver is 46 degrees with your Impact Traffic and weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
April is National Safe Digging Month. Every
10 seconds, Tom. You're coming up next.
digging, contact Colorado 811 first. It's fast, free, and it's the law. Always contact Colorado 811 before you dig.
Fix It 24/7 does an amazing job at cleaning your furnace or air. Right now, you'd be concentrating on your AC. Why would you want it cleaned? It's the #1 killer of ACs, the #1, and for furnaces too. And Fix It is the only company I know, and especially for the price, for new customers, $39. No one does it for that. And no one really gets the dirt and grime out like Fix It. I mean, they'll come and check a furnace and all that, but Fix It gets down and degreases and cleans and takes apart to the extent they can and gets into the compressor and the condenser, and they give a no breakdown guarantee, an extreme clean at Fix It 24/7. Just $39. Get it before you start using your AC. 720-526-3939. It's just $39. 720-526-3939 or fixmyhome.com. Made in the Shade is a window covering outfit, and I'm telling you, we love them because we have referred so many people to them that have excellent results, and even our own deputy doc used them. Made in the Shade will come and measure and estimate free. Then they will help you order with a design consultant to help you order the right stuff for your house, whether it be blinds, shades, shutters, or more. Curtains, drapes, and they'll do it all in your house and then come back and install everything when it arrives. They even have loaner shades for you if you need them. That's Made in the Shade. All budgets and all major brands. 720-458-6566. 720-458-6566.
Removable.
So you're ready, Mark, right? Because I'm signing out in a little while.
These are really cool. If you're, here it is, take off luggage. So we actually have this. Come look at this. We have two of these, but the ones we usually take are way smaller.
Oh.
These fit
Thank you.
perfectly. In fact, here it is. These fit. That's what we got. The wheels pop on and off. They made them the exact dimensions, and they fit 100% perfect. The only pain in the butt is, first of all, we usually don't need them that big. Our other ones are smaller. Our other ones won't even take up a quarter of that part. That thing literally fits the entire thing. But the cool part, or the only bad part is, the wheels do pop right off and right on like what he's saying.
Yeah.
But you have to sit down, pop the wheels off, put it in, and then do it. Yeah. But when the wheels are on, there's a handle, and it's just like any other luggage. They're really cool. They're a little overpriced.
If you're about to go in the door of the airplane and they say, wait, let me look at that bag. You're going to pop the wheels off right then?
Yeah, you can pop them off instantly. Yeah, there's no. I mean, you hit a little button, they pop off.
Yeah.
You could put them in your pocket.
Just a reminder, Tom's leaving soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now they might. Once again, though, it's dimensions. I mean, they make the dimensions.
Yeah. Every airline has a different dimension, though, right? Like
I think they're all basically the same.
different than Frontier.
I think I think Frontier. Someone on here, Jules said that. What's the other cheap one? Spirit are the same, but when we bought ours, this is years ago, we bought these suitcases, 2 or 3. Frontier used to be bigger. Frontier used to let you have a 50-pound suitcase. Now it's only 40 pounds. And the personal items have shrunk over time. But, I mean, they might all be close now.
But you have to buy a suitcase for the least common denominator.
But these people listening on YouTube, these removable ones are really cool. Takeoffluggage.com. Takeoffluggage.com. I need to reach out to them, get an endorsement.
I wonder how much they lost with that explosion.
We're back. Oh, no, we're not.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
No, I heard just a little bit.
So how much do you think they lost in that explosion?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean the spaceship?
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple billion.
God.
Well, I mean, they have to do that. I mean, God, I can't imagine these days. Oh, I looked it up. They've had 2 or 3 that do that on first, second flights. Oh, man, how did it do that? That's weird. So I sent them Frontier the video. They reached out to me a few hours ago.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same woman. She's like, I thought we had this handled. You cash the check. I said, nope, new issue. This should tell you all.
Oh,
she really thought it was from the last lawsuit.
But you know what? You got to tell. You got to use that contact.
Comedy Works. We're going to talk to him here on the program. Plus, Joe Biden wants to punish you for doing the right thing, paying your mortgage. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Mark heard from Frontier and sent him a video. Mark, you ought to use that contact to address the bigger issue and say, you don't want to do a confidential settlement.
Well, all I did was I said, they reached out. I filed the lawsuit a couple days ago, I think, at this point, and they said, hey, we got it. Ironically enough, it's someone that I dealt with on the last lawsuit. And she says, we saw you cash the check, but I can't talk about that, so I won't, at least the outcome of it. So she thought it was about the same thing. I said, no, new issue. Here's a video. We'll talk later.
Okay, also, I wanted to mention that a federal judge said that a committee or some agency didn't have the right to force health insurance companies to pay for screenings free under Obamacare. There was a lot of wellness mandated under Obamacare, like preventive care, like mammograms and
pregnancy?
Stuff like and mammograms and stuff like that. So basically, here's what's happening. Tens of millions of Americans with health insurance may be affected because the ACA preventive services mandate might be ruled, well, he did rule it unconstitutional. We'll see. He said they did not have the power to do it. So cancer screenings, heart screenings, mammograms, all of those things, the wellness checks that used to be...
But even prior, Tom, even prior to Obamacare, I mean, we had Kaiser even way back then. All that was still included. I mean, that almost makes it sound like Obamacare changed that. Don't most health insurance companies, and I'll pull Kaiser out
I don't
of that
think they
mix.
did it before Obamacare. Maybe some of them did by choice.
Mine
but
did,
what they're
because they didn't
saying
want to
now
spend the big
is
bucks.
what they're saying now is they don't have to do it. They should have never been ordered to do it by this agency. But we can talk about that and more. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Another hour to go.
That lady up with the solar company.
Okay, I'm going to disconnect.
All right, later. Wait,
See-
wait.
What?
Do not disconnect.
Oh, okay.
Right. No, disconnect. I'm going to bring it back up. Anybody listening to us right now on YouTube, audio will be back up. You can kill just kill your connection. I've got to reconnect it.
All right.
I can't believe we're not getting... This is my luck, though. I swear to God it is.
What?
It's the audio now.
Is there something I can do to help?
I have no idea. I can't go look. I've got to do a show. It's just fucking unbelievable.
Up.
10 seconds, guys.
Okay, listen, audio is being fed from here.
Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Our goal in life is to make your life just a little bit better. You have a problem. You've been ripped off by a contractor, maybe in airlines. I'm not going to dive into that again, but if you've been ripped off in general, this is what we do. We try to go after the bad guys, recoup your money. In fact, I can say this with a smile. Over $300 million cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds directly due to this show. So if you need help with somebody that is taking advantage of you, you pick up that phone, you call right now. We have open lines 303-713-8255, 303-713-TALK. If you're new to the show, what we do is we expose the bad guys. It's simple as that. In fact, if you go to sleazbrigade.com, those are the real bad guys, the worst of the worst. And if you go to referrallist.com, that's where you can find the great guys out there, the companies that will help you out, the good contractors, the good attorneys. And speaking of a good attorney, I might even call him great, Bradley O'Brien in studio with me today. Anything real estate. And I've got some questions I want to ask you, Brad. Number one, through COVID, how many people were calling you? How many landlord calls did you get in that year and a half going, my tenant hasn't paid me, how do I get him out of there? How many did you get in that 2-year period? Did you get a lot?
Plenty. My real estate practice did not slow down during COVID, and it really drove a lot of real estate needs.
But did it drive a lot of landlords crazy? They simply couldn't evict people?
Yeah, there was a long time there when they couldn't evict people, and they were just kind of stuck with some tenants weren't paying rent.
Yeah, I had a neighbor. I mean, he was still paying a pretty high mortgage on a house in Highlands Ranch. He was paying a mortgage of, $2,500 a month. He was renting it out for basically what the mortgage payment was. He didn't get paid for 18 months, man. Yeah. I mean, it's really crazy. What is your average call at your firm? Is it a landlord calling for you to review a lease? Is it someone buying a house and wants an attorney to look at it? What is the biggest thing?
Well, I'm a real estate practitioner doing both transactions and disputes involving real estate. So I help people buy and sell, lease properties, both commercial and residential. And on disputes, a contract's gone bad, like somebody wants to back out and there's an earnest money dispute, or somebody can't close on time because of some financing problem, or on the ground, like fence disputes and boundary line disputes. I mean, just anything involving real estate.
Anything real estate whatsoever. Something interesting, we bought a new house years ago, and when I mean new, we bought it directly from a builder, and I learned that these contractors coming from, I don't care if it's Lennar, KB Home, whoever it is, they are a lot different than a normal real estate deal when you're buying a house that's already constructed. I mean, they're completely different. Would you suggest people call you to look at those?
Yes, builder contracts to buy homes are very complicated. They are custom documents. I highly recommend an attorney review them in every case. They're not the standard contract form that real estate brokers use normally.
Why is that? How do they get away from that? I mean, or how do they get away with it, I should say?
Brokers are required to use the standard contract form unless an attorney drafts a form for them. So builders who do use brokers will have their in-house attorneys or their own attorneys draft the custom contract form.
That's we had one. Listen to this. It was Colorado Springs, and it was a big condo being built, a condo unit. I don't remember how many units were in it, but people signed these agreements, these builder contracts, prior to COVID. So it took way longer to finish the project just because of construction. In the meantime, as we all know, with the supply chain problems, everything to build a condo or a house or a barn, for that matter, went up in price. Crazy. Somewhere in there, it allowed them to change the price of the unit. So all these people that thought they were buying a condo for $250,000 or whatever the number was, were called and said, well, if you still want that same unit, it's now $300,000. I'm making numbers up, and they had no choice. Now, the only thing they would get if they said no was like their earnest money back of $15,000. But that is something no one would have ever thought of. We had probably 10 calls, all different people on that same exact issue down there. They already basically found other buyers that they could sell to for $50,000 plus what they originally sold them to. And that's why I was asking you about those kind of contracts.
Yeah, so I think a lawyer needs to look at those because there are many outs that you wouldn't. I mean, some of these contracts are 50 pages of.
And they're always going to be in the favor of the builder.
Sure, yeah. You know, some of them give the builder the chance to increase price if their lumber prices went up.
And you'd never really know that.
No.
I mean, unless you literally read this 40-page agreement.
Right, that's not a normal provision in a contract, but it's something that we did see.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Any questions you got? And by the way, anybody out there that has had an issue with Frontier, I definitely want to hear from you. I mean, definitely. We're going to push this video across the country of today's show and the shenanigans Frontier's up to. But any problems, questions, complaints, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Don't forget, go to YouTube and type in Troubleshooter. You can see the live feed of every show. Chris, what's going on? What question do you have, Chris?
Hey, man. Yeah, first of all, I just want to be in solidarity with you. Nothing sucks or blows harder than Frontier.
Man, I can't believe it. Of course, to me, it's an opinion. I don't think they literally blow, but wait, maybe they do. I don't know. But here's what I'm saying. They suck. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the seats are like a waiting room.
But I don't even. God, someone had to call and push a button, right? It's almost like let's give them a call. Let's poke the bear and see what happens. I don't even care about the seats. What I care about is I have flown this airline more times than probably anybody listening, and I'm sure there's a few people that have flown more. But I mean, honestly, we fly how many times a year, Suzanne? Are we on Frontier? 5, 10?
10?
Yeah, we're on Frontier a lot. We've had the same bags forever. They are under the dimensions for this personal item. We've never had any issue. We didn't even have an issue on this trip in any other airport but Denver. But in Denver, even though it fits, the guy kept pointing at a picture with a handle. So you got to have, I guess, the handle fully extended, according to this guy at Frontier, this gate guard or whatever they're called, and you got to put it sideways. And if it doesn't fit in the box, you got to pony up the big bucks to get on the plane. And they tell you at the very end, they targeted, it looked to me as if they targeted the last 20 people. But there was a whole line of us. We're all scratching our heads. Who do we talk to? Who's the supervisor? What do we do? And you can see the video, or at least, God, I hate even pointing people to this video on YouTube. It's this live stream. You go to YouTube and you hit Troubleshooter. But the way I played it today, it made me look fat. I mean, really fat. It made the skinny girl next to me look like she was 200 pounds.
Made you look like a munchkin.
Oh, my God. So it took the compression from the iPhone, that portrait video, and squished it into a square. But we are working on the real one. But if you're listening right now, know anybody that's got an issue with Frontier, you go to YouTube and you type in Troubleshooter and you go to live and you go to today's show and you can see that video. I even talked to one of the people there, Chris, at a different gate, and I put it in, and I asked her. I went over to her. I said, that bag's fine, right? Or actually, I didn't even say that. I said, is that bag okay? She's like, yeah, it fits in the box. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's just crazy. But, Chris, what is your question?
Okay, I'll get to it. One last thing. Ashtray, tray tables.
Oh, yeah, they do have this guy's really hitting on the things, too. If you've never been on Frontier, they have, okay, if you take a tablet, an average size Samsung tablet, not the mega one, or an average size iPad, That is the size of their tray. But that's the only size. What do they serve? They serve these little boxes. If you buy one for, I don't know, $15, however much they are, they don't even serve food on Frontier. Just, snacks that they charge for, and beer and that they charge for, and just everything is charged for on Frontier. But once again, I don't care about that. I've been flying Frontier for years. What I care about is the lies. When they say if it fits in the box, you don't pay for it, and then they blackmail you by not letting you on the plane unless you pony up the dollars. That's my problem. Now, would you quit talking about Frontier, Chris? What's your question?
All right, man, I'm sorry. I have a tax question. So I elected to have direct deposit for any refund that I might get. I never did that before, but last year I got a check was lost, and it was a big pain in the butt.
You mean through the IRS, not through some like a firm like H&R Block that does those rapid refunds?
Right, I mean through the IRS.
Okay.
So my basic question was, having never done that before, is there any standard amount of time where that would go quicker than a check into your account?
It generally, from what I read, is if you filed this year, I'm talking about this year, and long as you have paid in prior years, there's nothing outstanding, and you didn't mail in. You didn't mail it in. You actually filed electronically. They said, I thought it was 30 to 45 days you should get your refund, but I think people are getting them quicker than that. So when did you file?
On the drop dead date on Tuesday.
Yeah, so on the 18th, or I think it was Monday, it was the 18th. But yeah, so you should be getting it in about 30 days. Why? I mean, maybe even quicker.
Yeah, I don't know. I filed electronically on the day.
And it's the first time you've done it. That's why you're asking.
Right. That's why I'm asking. Is it quicker than a check?
How much of a refund you got coming? The average refund this year across the country, I would assume it's the median, was $2,000 something, like $2,400.
Yeah, I got about $4,000 coming back.
All right, you should adjust. I mean, I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving you like accounting advice, but you can adjust that in your paycheck multiple different ways, so you don't have to wait for it and you don't give it to Uncle Sam for the year. But be careful, because some people do that, then they owe money, they don't have the money to pay, man.
Yeah, that's what's. I'm overpaying and letting them use the money interest free, which pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
But I've got screwed before.
You don't get into that position to where they get to charge you interest daily because you owe them. I get you, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
Chris,
that's all I wanted to know.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for getting me wound up on Frontier. 303 Martino. Any questions, complaints, comments? 303-713-8255. I do want to ask this prior to the break. If you were listening first hour, maybe it was second hour, I don't remember where it was. Tom and I had one of the biggest arguments on the show we've had in a while. I mean, we were screaming at each other. There's no doubt about it. What I want to know, and I want honest opinions on this, if you heard it, if you didn't hear it, or maybe you've heard one in the past where we're arguing like that, do you like that radio? Is it exciting? Should we not be as loud? I want to know your opinion when you have two people, type A, kind of yelling at each other. Is it too much? Is it too little? Would you rather hear more of it, less of it? I want to hear from you. 303-713-TALK.
Don't let depression, anxiety, trauma, or addiction take
lives. Euro Plumbing. Art of Granite. That's easy. K&H. You know who I met yesterday? The new owner of K&H. Oh, man. Ted is still there, going through the transition. This company's been around 40-plus years, I think 50, and they're still going to be around. I'm so happy. Ted was really getting up there, and he found the right group of people, and, of course, with his existing employees, this thing's going to be going forever. But I love the direction this new guy's going into. I can't say it enough. I really like the guy, and if you want those windows, you want that siding, you want your house to look better, look newer, add the value to it, and yeah, I truly mean that. Most of the money you put into new windows, doors, and sidings, everything K&H Home Solutions does, guess what? Most of that money actually adds to the equity of your house. You get to look great and build the equity. Right now, 30% off. That's what this new owner wants to do. Call them up. Their warranties are unbelievable. Some of them are lifetime. 303-421-7100. If you've been putting it off, give them a call right now. That 30%'s a real deal. 303-421-7100 or khwindows.com. Now, this one's easy. You ready for this? Euro Plumbing, Divitar. I love this guy. You want a new water heater? You don't want any BS? You want to pay a great price for a water heater that includes installation. It includes a name brand like Rheem or A.O. Smith. It includes a great warranty, 6 years, and it includes installation, new gas flex, supply lines, new water supply lines, getting rid of the old one. Check it out. You ready for this? $1,299. Go ahead, call around, find one better. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. $1,299, brand new 40-gallon or a 50-gallon for only $13.99. Give Dimitar and the gang a call at Euro Plumbing. It's europlumbingcolorado.net, or write this down, 303-668-6844, 303-668-6844, or like all of our good people we talk about, you can find them all at referralist.com. The Art of Granite. You realize most people I talk about I've used. Suzanne and I wanted new countertops. We wanted our kitchen redone. We wanted our laundry room redone and 2 bathrooms. You know who we called? We called Mitch Floria at the Art of Granite. We couldn't have been happier. The pricing was better than any other bid we got on the new cabinets and the new countertops, and on top of that, the job was measured perfectly, the stone was cut perfectly, the cabinets are gorgeous. In fact, some of them were going back 4 years, never a problem with them. The new sinks are beautiful, the new faucets, oh my God, I can't talk about it much. And guess what? Listen to this. He can give you a quote right over the phone. Go to theartofgranite.com. That's theartofgranite.com. Phone number's right there. Call him up. Get a quote.
Hey, Brad, you got a minute to look at your calendar to schedule you for next time?
Sure.
Got any travel dates in the next few months that I should avoid?
That you should avoid?
It's all day by day. So.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Any chance you can do Wednesday the 31st or Thursday the 1st?
May and June?
May and June, yeah. I also have, hang on a second. The 24th and 25th. I have the 22nd, 24th, and 25th of May.
Of May? I think the week later would be better.
The 31st or 1st?
Let me just check. June 1st would be good.
June 1st? Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
No, that's when I can come in.
Oh, coming in. What would you like to talk about, sir? We're going to bring stuff up. I mean, I'm going to have full lines when we go back, but give me something.
I always like to drive transactional work and helping people buy and sell.
Okay.
Their homes, and also, I do leases as far as commercial leases.
How about if I ask you a question? Yeah, the leases I've always liked. If I ask you a question like, I'm trying to think of a good way to get the audience engaged in it. Like, okay, why use a realtor compared to using you? Or do you use both? Okay, if you already found the exact property you want, or if you're the seller and you already found a buyer, is there any purpose? Why use a realtor over? Because a realtor is going to have a high percentage on both sides. I mean, you're not going to be nearly that high going over the documents.
A lot cheaper, yeah.
$1 million house, hell, realtors are walking away at $30,000 each.
Yeah, it might be like less than 5, something like that. Good idea.
we were at a meeting. I wish, Jules, Tom and I were at a meeting yesterday. I'm not going to get too into it, but we were out of this building in a meeting that had to do with something totally different. And we left the meeting, and Tom went down one hallway, and I went the other way. And the room we walked out of, it was so funny. The room we walked out of, they thought we both left the building. So the people we were meeting with started talking. And I heard, because I'm like right next to the door, but they can't see me. The one guy said, I mean, he was dead serious. He's like, that was so intense. And I could just tell that he was like, oh my God. And then I walked in because I had to, I'm not going to get into why, but I walked in and I said, yeah. I said, you thought...
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
You know what's funny? I just saw a comment on YouTube, and people think, I don't know why, people think I'm different, like off the air than I am on. Now, do I get up and start screaming in a room? Well, maybe. I mean, I was going to say no, but Suzanne, we've been together. We've been married 30 years, together even longer. Am I different? Do I like work myself up on purpose? Do I just get worked up? It's amazing to me. And I like this guy, Jules, on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's like, you just try to get upset? And he didn't put it that way, but it's like, no. And I was telling a story about Tom and myself yesterday. We left a meeting, had nothing to do with radio or anything. Another
I have
deal.
to tell people all the time, you are the same at home as you are on the air.
It's kind of, I don't even know why people ask that. Hey, I'll ask our guest, Bradley O'Brien. Brad, you talk with me off air all the time and with Tom off air when people can't hear us on the radio. I mean, do you see any difference? I mean, really? Be honest, man. I mean, I might not be. I guess when you're on, you tend to get louder. I mean, that's just part of what I do, but give me an opinion.
No, I agree with you, yeah. You're much more congenial off the air, I think.
You think
when you're on the air, you're intense and focused. Okay. So
I will say, Tommy, in public, when we go to Christmas dinners or public stuff with him, he's way more reserved and quiet in public.
You know what? I will
he
say
really
that.
is.
Tom is reserved in public. There's no doubt about it, and that is very odd to me. I am not that way.
Right, but in his meetings and with you and whatnot, it's different. But in public, he's very reserved.
But there's a big difference, though, and I think one of the reasons he's like that is he was on the news up until he retired, and it wasn't that long ago. I mean, he was a staple in Colorado on the news.
That's right.
He went after a lot of people with cameras in their faces. I don't know how much attention you want to bring to yourself, but we've seen him MC stuff for the Max Fund. We've seen Tom MC a million things. So you're right. He is subdued.
Yeah, he's just like
in public.
And soft-spoken, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, my God. Jim's got a comment on Frontier, then I promise Mark Andrea Bennett. I'm going to come to you. They have comments as well. Jim, what is your comment on Frontier, sir?
Yeah, Mark. I've listened to you for a long time. I'm surprised. Do you have a Frontier credit card?
I do. I almost feel ashamed at this point. But, yes, I do have a Frontier credit card.
I fly Frontier numerous times a year, and I'm an airline brat. I was growing up with my dad working at TWA.
Oh, so you flew free everywhere.
Yeah, but I gotta say, it's only Denver. I fly my daughter. I'm in Texas now because I couldn't get out of Colorado soon enough.
No issue.
But I still have property there. But it happened to her too, just out of Denver. She has had no trouble here in Houston. I have no trouble here in Houston or any other state flying Frontier.
Jim, that's exactly I'm sorry, that's exactly what we heard from another caller and what happened with Suzanne and I when we were where we landed. It was no issue. When the other caller called, San Francisco was no issue. Then someone else called and said there was no issue there. But the same day, same bag got flagged for more money here in Denver.
Yes, and I can say it's Denver.
And someone called on Frontier's behalf, Jim, and I'm sorry I keep cutting you off, but I want to be very careful how I talk about Frontier. I don't want to get blackballed. But here's the deal. Someone did call and say in Denver, and I assume it's everywhere in the country, the people that work the gate and collect this bounty that we've heard about from multiple news sources of $10, maybe even more, those people do not work directly Frontier. Frontier hires them from a company. But ultimately, none of that matters because I pay Frontier for those bags.
That's true. That's true.
Go ahead. I'll give you a last thought, Jim.
Yeah, I have never had any trouble anywhere with Frontier, and I'm happy to fly with them. And it's just the Denver area. Like I said, I couldn't get out of Denver soon enough to move.
We will see. I appreciate that very much, Jim. We will see because I have a feeling this video that's in the works is going to go everywhere, way outside of Denver, and we'll look at the comments, and we'll hear about other people's experiences. Now, I got to dive into Mark, and then I got to take a quick break, but Andrea and Bennett, I want to hear your comment, but I asked the audience, if you were listening the first hour or two, I don't remember what hour it's in. If you go to youtube.com and go to Troubleshooter, you can see it and hear it in the whole bit, even during the breaks. Once again, youtube.com. Just type in Troubleshooter. It'll be the live show today. But, Mark, you got a comment. When Tom and I start arguing, it's kind of weird because when we're screaming over each other, it probably makes no sense. But I'll leave it there and I'll let you talk. Go ahead, sir. Mark? Uh-oh, I don't hear him there. I don't want to get rid of him. I'd like to hear that. Andrea, same thing.
Hello?
Go ahead, Andrea.
Yeah, I just want you to know that when Tom gets upset, I don't like that he cuts you off and he does that all the time. And I don't mind the raised voices, except he sounds like he's going to have a heart attack. And then I get upset for, listening to him. But I have no problem with when you raise your voice. And you always seem like you're actually in control.
Well,
so I don't know.
Andrea, I appreciate that, and there's probably a few shows you've missed then, but I do appreciate that. Well, we both appreciate that, and really, I do like that, and I do the same thing. There's no doubt I cut him off sometimes. I think the problem is sometimes we get so dug in, and as the conversation gets louder, a lot of times the louder you are, the more correct you are. That's kind of a joke we have around here. But on the same time, what's interesting is as the conversation gets more intense and louder, and this isn't just between Tom and myself, it's between anybody, you start really digging into your opinion, and you're not hearing what the other person's saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, Mark, Tom doesn't listen as well as you do. I mean, even to people that call in, he has to. He says something that's not correct as to what they had said, and I think you have better listening.
Well, I appreciate that, Andrea. I'm going to say this though, there is nobody. I've got to say this. First of all, he's my partner, man, and I appreciate the comments. I do want to say this: 40 plus years on the air. Find me another host besides Tom Martino that's been on for 40 years. Bennett, Mike, and there's a reason for that. You guys are next.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Some slow spots throughout the Denver Metro to occupy your 1 o'clock commute. I-25 southbound into downtown showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Colfax. West of there, I-70 westbound between Wadsworth and 44th Avenue Ward Road. Looks like we've got some police activity blocking the right lane with stop-and-go traffic back from I-76. This was a closure about an hour ago. Things are reopened, and we are seeing speeds return to relative normalcy, but you will still see some slow commuting through the scene. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there with highs in the low 50s this afternoon, overnight low of 27. Tomorrow, high of 53 with scattered showers. The current temperature in Denver is 47 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Hurry and shop the final days of Springfest at Lowe's and get the best values of the season before they're gone. Save big on the Ego 15-inch string trimmer. It was $219. Now it's $199. Shop Lowe's today. Valid through 4/26. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
These guys are great, man. They're well, you've seen their signs around. We buy ugly houses. That's exactly what they do. They don't have to be ugly. But here's the deal. You get a check and you get it quick. There's no commissions. Yeah, they're going to give you a little less than if you advertise it, but you're not going to be paying a realtor 3%, 6% on both sides if you're the seller. They're going to write you a check within a few days, and you can go cash it. Maybe you lost someone that was a hoarder, and you don't feel like cleaning up the house. They'll make you a deal. These guys will buy your house, whether ugly or pretty, for a good price very quickly. WeBuyUglyHouses.com. WeBuyUglyHouses.com, or call them right now at 800-44-BUYER. That's 800-44-BUYER.
If you're looking for a safe, conservative investment, becomethebanker.org. That's where you'll find Joe Chiano, a licensed certified financial advisor, with 2 goals: to provide safe, guaranteed returns and income for life. He has 2 products: Become the Banker, which is overfunding life insurance for tax-free returns, or a guaranteed retirement pension. Find out about both. BecomeTheBanker.org. Income for life. BecomeTheBanker.org.
Need new windows or doors for your home? Then call Bluebird Windows. With an average 4.8 on Google reviews, customers attest to the quality, installation, and craftsmanship that Bluebird Windows offer. They're manufactured specifically for both Colorado's weather and our altitude. Call for a free quote, mention me, Michael Brown, for a full 25% off your entire order. Call Bluebird Windows, 303-810-2888, 303-810-2888, or go online, gobluebirdco.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, Head of Marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Mandy Connell here with the Legal Minute from my friends at Bell & Pollock. Listen for more great advice on the Bell & Pollock Injury Show, Saturdays at 10 on KOA.
Hi, I'm Gary Bell of the law firm of Bell & Pollock. We are injury attorneys, and this is your Legal Minute. You're sitting on a stoplight, and boom, you're hit from behind, you're rear-ended. The driver gets out, and they say, I'm sorry. Gee, I'm sorry, I don't have any insurance. Or worse yet, they give you an insurance card, and you call, and it's expired. And there's no insurance, but you have lost wages, you have injuries, you have medical bills piling up. What are you going to do? What can you do? And I'll tell you what, we've preached many times, we've done many shows on what you can do before an accident happens. You can buy your own UIM coverage with your own car insurance policy, the highest limits that you can afford. Because when you do this and the other driver has no insurance or not enough insurance, you're still protected. If you have any questions, call us. Bell & Pollock will help you.
Get more information or help from Bell & Pollock at championsofthepeople.com.
How about this plum crazy match made in heaven? Buy a new Carrier AC and get a new Carrier furnace free. A deal for any budget. Only from Plumline Services and Carrier. Turn to the experts. From Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's been earning our trust since '98 with a spirit of excellence. Service at home, servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. PlumlineServices.com. That's PlumlineServices.com.
If you have a roof problem, call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400. Jay and Henry Bretts here. Henry, can you believe that we're celebrating our 30th year in business?
Yeah.
and I'm going to be here for another 30 years, helping people with their roof systems. 303-761-6400.
Okay, Henry, tell everyone about our spring gutter cleaning special.
During the month of April, XL will clean the gutters on one-story homes for half the price, only $99.
Wow, that's a great deal.
Call 303-761-6400 or go to xlroofing.com to schedule your gutter cleaning. Some restrictions apply.
At Excel, you don't pay a cent until you're content. 303-761-6400. xlroofing.com.
Howdy, folks. I'm here to tell you about all the giveaways this month at Triple J Armory. You see, we figured that because y'all love a good deal, we should have more of them. That's why this month at...
I guess people have their favorites, huh?
Join us for Dead Air Demo Days on April 29th and try out their entire lineup for free. Come on down and visit us at Triple J Armory at C470 and Broadway in Littleton. We'll give you the most bang for your buck.
All right, 303-713-8255. Ripped off, taken advantage of. I want to ask Bradley O'Brien a quick question here. You know, if you have a house, if I already had a buyer for my house and I knew who it was, why would I use a realtor? Why wouldn't I? If I already negotiated the price, I already found the buyer, I qualified the buyer myself. Maybe you even help with that part. But a realtor, you generally pay 2 or 3%. On both sides. If you're the seller, you would be way less than that, not even close to it. What reasoning would there be not to use you instead, or an attorney to close the deal instead of a realtor? Because you're going to do everything the realtor does, except for find the property and the buyer, but you're going to do everything, but I'd argue even better because you're an attorney.
Yeah, I agree. Although brokers are very valuable in marketing a property to the public and maximizing offers when you don't have a buyer. But if you have a buyer already identified, you can hire an attorney and pay them by the hour and pay a whole lot less.
You can do the title work. You can do the buy-sell agreement. You can do virtually everything. You can even suggest a title company if they want to go through one.
Right.
And then on top of that, here's where I think that would fall in a lot. When someone dies and say the kids are going to literally take the house, the estate is going to be transferred to whoever in the will or into a trust or anything like that where you don't have to find a buyer. And then how about leases? I'm telling you right now, when I used to do commercial property and I was on both sides, I leased a building and I leased, oh my God, I was probably the leasee. Wait, leaseor? Wait.
The tenant or the landlord.
Okay, fine. I'll go with that. I was probably the tenant. Oh, my God, commercial properties, when I had my good years in computer stores, I probably signed, holy moly, I'm not kidding, probably 15 to 20-plus leases just here in Denver. And the interesting part is I did have an attorney look over them, and I'll tell you why. I didn't understand in my early 20s the impact of a personal guarantee compared to not having one. And there was some leases. After that, generally, depending on who you are and what you're doing, you can negotiate out without it depends how bad they want to rent the property and a lot of other things, but you can negotiate out of that. But I didn't even know that personal guarantee was part of my lease at one point. Thank God it was for a smaller property and I could close it down and still pay the lease. But man, and then as a landlord, I had this guy do something, and I don't want to get into his name or anything, but it was in Denver, and there was a big hailstorm, and there was a lot of damage done to the building. And when it came to that money right there, we had a little disagreement, and I wish spelled out in the lease I did it better on who cashes that check, who picks contractors and stuff like that. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do both residential and commercial leases, and I highly recommend a lawyer on every commercial lease. There's more to the lease than just the rent.
A ton.
There's so much risk. Who's going to pay for property damage for a storm? There's so many things to cover on a commercial lease.
Okay, this one I got to get to. Nicole, that solar issue yesterday was incredible. By the way, I want to say this. So Brad O'Brien, 720-370-7388, 720-370-7388. Any real estate issues, this is the man. OLSlaw.com. OLSlaw.com, or of course you find them on referralist.com. So, Nicole, you called yesterday. You had a company install solar panels in an inverter that was 11.5 kilowatts compared to 10. You have Core Energy out in Elizabeth. I talked to Core Energy yesterday, and I understand, and honestly I did from the beginning, your predicament 100%. Core Energy actually buys their energy from Excel. If you install a solar system on a residential property that's over 10 and yours is 11.5, they basically consider you, for lack of a better words, a power company. So what happens is this company that sold her this inverter and this setup screwed up big time. They acknowledge they screwed up, but I talked to Core to verify everything. Here's how it works. It does not work like most solar systems where you have credits that offset credits at the same rate. Nicole actually spends whatever her electric bill is. If it's $250, she gives them $250 a month. Then all the energy that was banked through her solar, they write her a check back. There's no offsetting credits. That check back is at such a cutthroat rate. It's unbelievable. And I'm making numbers up, but she might pay them $250 and she gets back $4. I mean, that's how crazy it is. But that is the agreement that they have. There's nothing Nicole did wrong. There's nothing Core Energy did wrong. And honestly, there's nothing Excel really did wrong. The solar company, Nicole, screwed the hell out of you. I don't know how else to put it. I want to pressure these guys to step in and get it fixed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Did I spell that out pretty good?
Yeah, you did.
It's mind-blowing to me. We're going to get involved. We're going to I want Smarty Marty on this, Kelly. I want Smarty Marty, and tell him, please get aggressive on this. But the first thing I would like to do, and hold on, Nicole, let's see if these clowns will come on the air. What was the name of that company again, Nicole, that did the wrong thing, admitted, but they haven't fixed it? Who is it?
Freedom Forever.
Freedom Forever Solar. Freedom Forever Solar. They sold her a solar system that she pays $299 a month for and does nothing, or next to nothing. They acknowledge it, but they won't fix it. Let's see if they can come on for a comment right now. Bennett, Mike, hold tight.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com.
Some slow spots throughout the Denver metro to occupy your 1 o'clock commute. I-25 southbound into downtown showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Colfax. West of there, I-70 westbound between Wadsworth and 44th Avenue Ward Road. Looks like we've got some police activity blocking the right lane with stop-and-go traffic back from I-76. This was a closure about an hour ago. Things are reopened, and we are seeing speeds return to relative normalcy, but you will still see some slow commuting through the scene. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there with highs in the low 50s this afternoon, overnight low of 27. Tomorrow, high of 53 with scattered showers. The current temperature in Denver is 47 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Spring is here, which means it's time to let your dog enjoy their yard. For 50 years, Invisible Fence brand has been the leader in the pet containment industry, offering hands-on training and a money-back performance guarantee. Visit InvisibleFence.com to schedule your consultation and see the difference today.
You know, I was talking to Bradley O'Brien, our attorney in studio with us off the air, and I was talking about John Fuller. He's a personal injury attorney. Not only have I used him twice, once for Suzanne and I, and then once when our daughter Addie got rear-ended on I-25, and man, he did so good, no one could have done better. I mean, honestly, we got maximum limits. No one could have done better, and I don't think other attorneys would have delivered like that. But he's become a friend. I mean, really, when you deal with John, you deal directly with John. I love Fuller. You don't want to deal with these big firms where you're just a number or another cog or spoke in the wheel. You want to deal with somebody you're always going to be dealing with them, and they're the attorney. That, my friends, is John Fuller. He can be your personal injury just like he was my personal injury attorney at mypersonalinjuryattorney.co. That's John Fuller, mypersonalinjuryattorney.co. Now, let me tell you about this. You got some old jewelry hanging out in those drawers, maybe a couple mismatched earrings, maybe a tangled up necklace that's no good. How about a wedding ring? Maybe you got divorced and that diamond and that gold ring sitting around. How about gold teeth? I don't care what it is. If it's a precious metal, I'm going to tell you this. David Ellis, and he's been around forever, he's going to give you a good price for it. Not pawn store money. He's going to give you an honest, fair price for your jewelry. Your old stuff you don't do anything with. Get that cash in your pocket right now. David Ellis Jewelers, 3rd and Clayton. You can check him out at davidellisjewelry.com. That's davidellisjewelry.com. Now, made in the shade, you want blind shades, shutters, drapes, any kind of window coverings. These guys, I'll just say it, they rock and roll. They've got pricing that is better than some of these places that just have you do the measuring and you do the install, these online places. But the difference is not only the better pricing. These guys come to your house. They have a color expert that can help with colors. They'll bring different samples of blind, shade, shutters, drapes, whatever you want, and they will actually install them, do all the measuring, and they can do it for less than some of those other guys. And it doesn't matter if it's a fix and flip and you're on that budget or if you got a $3 million house. These are the guys. Call them right now. 720-458-6566. It's made in the shade, baby. 720-458-6566. See, now I wish we had another.
Tell Leland
I wish
take
I had
the day.
another hour.
Yeah, it's just getting going, right? The lady's not getting net metering because she's not residential?
Yeah, so with her energy company, they do not do net metering if you're over a 10 kilowatt inverter, and she's at 11.5.
That's a huge mistake. I mean, all the installers know 10 is
It is
10's the
It
running
is so
line.
massive, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So literally what they do is she pays her exact electric bill. I mean, whatever it is, she pays it.
Yep.
And then any solar that got back put onto the grid, when I say pennies on the dollar, man.
She's getting no benefit from the thousands she paid.
She's paying now. She used to pay $250 for an electric bill.
Yeah.
Now she pays $240 for an electric bill and $300 a month for the solar system.
Yeah.
She doubled her price.
Oh, wow, that's bad.
And this company is just, it's unbelievable.
Did she contract for 11-something kilowatts?
Yes, everything. They didn't know. They were one of these startups that just didn't know.
That's stupid. Wow. They just put as many that would fit on a roof, I guess.
Did you call? I'll ask you on air. I'm going to ask you on air. All right, well, hold on. I'm going to ask you on air about that. We got to help this lady. We also have just so you know, Kelly, we have someone going out there to give her a price on getting it fixed, but you're talking removing panels, swapping out the inverter, and then you've got to reapply for all the permitting. And you're basically redoing the job.
But you have to downsize your inverter?
ProBid, energy.
It's the only thing she can do. She's got to go.
Can't you just take panels off?
Yeah, but then you have to downsize the inverter still.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Don't we have Mark going out there from ProBid?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. Because I gave them each other's numbers yesterday.
Yeah, he's going to work up. What he's going to do, he understands the issue now.
Yeah.
All he's going to do is give her a quote on fixing it. I want these guys to do the right thing, but they could be out of business.
Yeah, I'll give her Marty's number. Yeah, and
I want
hook them up.
I want Marty on top of this, like on it like Blue Bonnet.
Okay, I'll let him know.
All right, 15 seconds, guys.
And let your voice be heard. Call, text, and now talk back anytime with our free iHeartRadio app while streaming KHOW and the full screen player. Just click the microphone to record your message. Talk back to Denver's talk station now.
So I have got no less than 15 emails, and I only check one box during the show, so I'm sure there's a lot more. By the way, you can email us at help@troubleshooter.com. I asked about Tom and I arguing, and I don't mean just little arguments. When we get into a big one, we're yelling over each other. I got to say, this one sums it up, and I mean, I'm talking 90%. Brother, keep that fire, love it. You guys keep it real, you, Tom, and yes, Mrs. Major, too, are the real deals. Most of them actually are like, yeah, we love it. Kelly, I know you took probably 20 calls on that. What was the majority of people when I asked that question real quick?
They actually wanted you microblog the argument.
Microblog it?
Yep.
What does that mean?
That
what
means
does that
cutting it
opinion
out,
mean?
That means cutting it out and just having it as its own little
Oh,
standalone.
you're saying cut that segment of the
Yes,
show out.
Yes.
Oh, my
and
God.
just send it out so people can
I'd
just
hang
replay
myself.
it and replay it and replay it.
I'd hang myself. Mike, what is your comment on Frontier Airlines? By the way, anybody listening, please tell all your friends that have ever had an issue with Frontier to go to our YouTube channel, which is simple. You go to youtube.com, type in Troubleshooter, go to today's live show. You got to go to live. We've got thousands and thousands of them. You can watch and listen to the show there and even hear us during the breaks. What's your comment, Mike?
Try filing a brief with either the DOT or the FAA.
Well, I filed a lawsuit against Frontier, and I probably am not going to do a settlement agreement with them, so I continue to talk about it. But we're going to find out. But you're right, Mike. That is one way to do it. It is so misleading. I can't even believe a company the size of Frontier is letting this happen. William, what is your question? William, I feel like hey, guys,
Yes.
You know why I'm standing up? You look at me. What do I look like? I look like a 5-year-old that's got a what?
Go.
That's exactly what's going on. William, go ahead.
All right, so I worked at an employer for a lot of years, and during 2017, I had a surgery, a hernia surgery. Because of the surgery, the hospital sent me a bill for $13,000.
Okay.
I'm trying to clear it off of my credit. They told me if I had a paycheck stub from 2017 of that month.
Why would that clear it up, William? William, listen, just because of this time constraint. Hold on. Kelly, I want him up. Stop that, Dragon. Kelly, I want William up first thing in the morning. I want more information on that. And William, we'll try to help you out. We'll get one of our health care and employment attorneys on to figure out how to get that paycheck. But I want to understand that story. Now, Nicole, I promise I've got some good news for you tomorrow. Bennett, you got to make it quick, man, because we're at the end of the show. Go.
Hey, man, real quick, I love it when you argue with Martino. And my opinion is he's always got to be...
All right, we're going to leave it there. 303-713-8255, 303-MARTINO. Don't forget, 303-MARTINO, help@troubleshooter.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Need to sell your home on your schedule? Lock in a guaranteed cash offer from Orchard and start the spring with a celebration. Here's how. Before Orchard, selling your home was a long, stressful process. But with Orchard's cash offer, you can forget about showings, listings, even upgrades. Don't worry about waiting weeks, even months for your home to sell. Orchard's cash offer guarantees the sale of your home and enables you to sell when you're ready. Orchard can save you even more time and money by recommending and taking care of costly repairs and specific home improvements. And to back me up, here's another 5-star review. This one's from Matt. It's hard to put into words how great our experience with Orchard was. First, their cash offer exceeded our expectations. Second, we sold our home with them for well above that price. Orchard gives you the certainty that your house will sell without all the hassles of selling it. Get a free no-obligation guaranteed cash offer from Orchard. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
We've become so much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower. Take your radio with you. 630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
A stream online
at KHOW.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere. Listen on the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
ABC News, I'm Morgan Norwood. All charges have been dropped against actor Alec Baldwin in connection with the Rust movie set shooting. Republicans in Congress are speaking out after it was learned that an IRS whistleblower is accusing the Biden administration of mishandling the investigation into Hunter Biden's taxes. The whistleblower claims preferential treatment and politics are affecting the investigation. Republican Senator Josh Hawley.
I hope and trust this person will be given whistleblower protections, which are robust under the law, and we need to find out what he or she knows.
No comment from the Justice Department or the White House. The first flight of the giant new SpaceX Starship was cut short when the rocket exploded shortly after takeoff today. It carried no people or satellites. The Supreme Court expected to issue a ruling Friday that will have a direct impact on millions of American women's access to abortion medication.